let's get started. First, we need to run, I'll run a 20-minute on it, just to be safe. Since this is the first round, let's go ahead. Who will win this FNF match? Blue 4. I'm gonna go read something real quick. Mainly for myself, so I can just put it through my head. Alright. Okay. I think we just started. Yep. Alright, well, Friday night fights. Let's see how everything goes. I'm just mulling over a few things because of, well, I'll get to it in a second. But otherwise, let me just make sure that everything fires on the stream properly, because I'm not seeing the paint announcement, which is kind of scaring me a bit. Sometimes Twitch screws things over with maneuvering things around and whatnot, but that is a-okay. Regardless, for the sake of the VOD, hope everyone's doing okay. This is the 27th of September, 2024 for Friday Night Fights here. We've got about, I want to say, 60 people on. Go ahead and actually check that number. If I scroll up and check the TeamSpeak, we're at about 67. So 66, that would be a 33 33. Otherwise, first match that is going to be starting is for round 1, Blue 4 attacking with Op 4 defending. Both sides only have transport trucks. Blue 4 has a 5% number advantage. Going into the details here, Blue 4 have... Wait, what? What? Let me read that again. I don't think these are right. Because... Huh. By the way, TTK should be lower. We changed the pass-through values to make it easier to damage. What do you mean by that, Sam? For team killing or something else? I'm trying to wrap my head around this AO, because according to the details... Okay, yeah, no, so both, I think these are both. Op 4's is correct, Blue 4's is wrong. Both say defend. One should be attack, one should be defend. So something got scuffed right there. But, nah, that is a weird one. And then nothing on performance tweaks. They've changed everything. Okay, well, time to kill. All right, well, that's good, because I do know in FNF there was a bit of mag dumping. All right, I wrap my head around this. I know what's going on now. So, Op 4 is going to be defending 2 sectors, which are up here, and then 2 caches, which are down here. There's a bug right now. It says Blue 4 is also defending them. That's wrong. Blue 4 is the attacking faction, because it wouldn't really make much sense if Op 4... started in every single area. Now, I do know that they were experimenting with some AOs in the past where the attackers do start with a sector that they need to capture, and then the capture timer was like, 20 or 30 minutes. But that was... yeah, that was interesting. But Sam's saying there's also some tweak time to kill coefficient going on for FNF, so they should be easier to eliminate each other and a little less chalky. But anyway... now with that great little reset out of the way, again, Blue 4 are going to be attacking, trying to take 2 sectors and to destroy objectives. Looking over at the briefing, it's 1,200 meters of render distance. Fortify points are at 130. Fortify color is going to be tan for Op 4 to reinforce these AOs, and then your standard 50 rounds of playing, and then a 15-minute safe start, because no one sees these AOs beforehand. Otherwise, Blue 4 elements are going to be Greek forces, which makes sense. Altus is based off of the island of Limnos. So we're going to be seeing G3s, 7.62 by 51 NATO battle rifles with I think that's the same, but with the 203. And then we also have a marksman variant of that, and then a mini-me for the light machine gunners, AT-4s for the light anti-tank, and then GPMGs for the Delta medium machine gunners. They have 2 transport Humvees and 8 transport trucks. Op-4, meanwhile, are Russian Spetsnaz kits, so AK-74s with GP-25s for the grenade launcher, SVDs for the marksman, RPKs for the light machine gunners, PKPs for the medium machine gunners, and RPG-7s with 2 rounds for the light anti-tank gunners. They've got 2 UAZs and 2 transport trucks. Looking over on the roster, Batty is going to be commanding for Blue 4 with Vagrant as his 2IC. Curie going to be leading Alpha with Depso, McBain, George, Waldo, Lolo, Naps, Cheeseburger, Chris, Alexander, Charlotte, Korvac, and Fancy all under him. Looks like they've merged all the Alpha elements together. Bravo is just going to be Arkin and Doggo, and I believe that is a marksman build there. Yep. So it's just going to be a marksman team walking around. That's actually quite smart to utilize. Charlie's going to be led by Nemesis with Cullis as the marksman, Yanni as the medic. Charlie 1 has Puma, Iander, Wayne, Purton, Dream, and Finn. And then we move on to Delta with Mike leading with Theon as a medic. And then a machine gun team of Arcane and Hampton. And then Delta has a machine gunner with Tomer as an assistant, I would assume, for ammunition. So 3 machine gunners and 1 assistant there. Otherwise, Op4 Swola is going to be commanding the defense here. Bank's going to be leading Alpha with Major Khan as the marksman and Erikiru as the medic. Alpha 1 has Ash, Tackleberry, Zixme, and Gazog all together. Alpha 2 has Little Banks, Maxek, Goose, and Deadpool all together. Charlie being led by Norris with Gates as the marksman. Looks like they merged Charlie 1 with Charlie Actual. That's why we have these additional slots. But Harrington, France, Bates, and Sholand also being under Norris. Charlie 2 has Desanger with Aquisio, Pinga, Sutek, and Flinju. And then Delta's merged everyone together. It's Lurch leading Savan, Fons, Tindian, Dudeson, Pupper, Lennox, and Oddball. And it looks like they're taking 3, maybe all 4. Yep, Tundian is a PKM, or PKP gunner, so that's all 4 machine gunners. AO is the area of Angry Dinosaur, which is the what most of us in Arma like to call Agios Dionysos. But the sectors themselves appear to be these little hilltops. They've had a little bit of a fortification on them. Some of the bigger buildings have been picked off. These are pretty good overwatch points, especially for anything coming into the east. Yeah, there's a little bit of, cover with the town and plenty of concealment out here. And then you've got a dried water bed right here that can't allow for forces up here. But this hill and overwatching with either a machine gunner or a marksman can be pretty effective. However, Blue 4 having those G3 battle rifles with the marksman scope on it means that this open hill can be pretty easily picked off with those SU-230A scopes compared to Op4 and the SVD. That one's a little tougher to work with. Plus the western side, I mean, you got the same open areas here, but there's a bit more in the valley, but a lot of open ground on the side. So this hill right here, pretty good to watch. The weakness is going to be from the west and the south because you got a bit of tree cover blocking on. South still has a nice open area that you can lock things down. Plus it has another AO to help hold this area, but north would be the tough part. But it's a matter of how does Blue 4 even get there, because, again, past that, there's a nice open area. Other AO, this one's a bit tougher to work with because you have immediate cover and concealment all around you, and where you don't have it, you do have a hill that goes all the way down to the town, and forces can immediately move up and then start assaulting from the base of that position. So this position definitely a little bit weaker. However, you can see that the defenses are a little more tight-knit. Tighter Hescos, more 2-story cover here that is less exposed from these Hesco buildings. They're also fortifying this little battle tower right here as well. Compared to this position, you don't really have a lot of 2-story areas except for maybe the openness of this damaged area, and then 2 Hesco towers facing different areas here. Bunkers only single story. They're really relying on the elevation of this position to make that work. And then Op4, the other 2 caches that they have over here to defend, looks like they're not really going to be focusing on that. One is kind of tucked away over here. The other one over on that side. And I kind of agree with this call. Op4 doesn't really have the manpower or the resources to lock down this AO. Because it's all open around them, yes, but they would need to spend, I think, all their fortify points to make a partial or full perimeter to basically lock down this entire side. So Op4 is going to be going for holding the zones to the north. Maybe we'll see some units in Angry Dinosaur itself to try to go in some flanking actions, but it's it could go either way. Blue 4, meanwhile, we've got, looks like, a squad coming out on the eastern flank. Most forces staying on the west. Might see some sort of pincer maneuver go in, but beyond that, hard to say. Oh, man. Hope you're all doing A-okay. Today's been a bit of a busy morning, and then we're just going to have a lot of fun streaming, mainly with Friday night fights, and then a small break, and then we'll be getting right into Daisy. Daisy is going to be on the Pripyat server. Namalsk, I'm not sure when we're going to see again. I had a heart-to-heart with Ghost Wolf last night. He's going to be taking a bit of a hiatus because the amazing stuff he's been able to do on that server, you know, making realistic T-Rexes and whatnot, it's burnt him out quite a bit. So he's going to just, you know, his official plan, at least what he told me, was he's going to take a break till the 15th of October when Frostfall comes out, and then maybe he might rebuild something. Completely up to him. I value everyone who works with me and their mental health because that is the most important thing you got when it comes to being a streamer. If your heart's not in it, then what's the point of sharing your personality with everyone if you know, you're not even feeling good? So we're going to be probably on the Daisy Pripyat server, I want to say once a week, because I'm going to be honest, nothing against Razor, but we haven't really done much with that server in a hot second. And I would say ever since that 21-hour stream where we really explored that server for 12 hours, I don't really have that much left I need to explore on it. Don't get me wrong, I think Charlotte's great with coming up some new ideas now that she's running admin for me. And she definitely has some great ways to blow me up. But I do agree that and I even told Ghost Wolf this. Week to week, there have been 2 different stream categories I've really looked forward to as I do on my day-by-days. Stillwater Security Solutions, which I'm happy to report they fixed a majority of the desync issues, so we'll actually be able to start seeing that on Saturdays again. And then the Namalsk server, because I was really, really into... I've got a special place for Namalsk in my heart, and I was really hoping we could at least, you know, make some progress to the south, set up a little base, maybe do some Athena 3 runs, but, you know, mental health is the most important thing. So we'll be... maybe we'll pick that up later, but I also know Razor's working on a Frostfall style server, so when it comes out we might have something within a week ready to go. So if you guys don't mind chilling with me in Raptor Town for you know, another, I would say 3 or 4 weeks before we might switch it up, I wouldn't mind the company. Plus, I'm gonna be honest, I'm so close to raising all the funds I need for that damn wedding. Oh my god. Oh, so close. We went venue looking today. We saw a really nice venue, and then we saw a very, very hotsy-totsy, completely overpriced venue. Oh my god. To the point even Bloodwind looked at me and just, you know, she was surprised by my quote-unquote visceral reaction of saying, no, that's not gonna fly. Oh, but I've learned there's definitely tiers of, you know, nice hotsy-totsy places where you get... When you're putting a bunch of money down for a wedding, you will get your bang for your buck up to a certain point, and then past that certain point, things start getting ridiculous, and you actually start losing value. It just depends on where you're looking and where you want to go, but I'll save that story for round 2. Alright, Op4 is routing some forces down. I'm gonna be honest, I don't see it often, but this wouldn't be a bad place to put, like, an explosive trap. You know me when I look at PvP and commentate on someone just threw a grenade. Okay, but this is... When you have cash objectives, this is the best place to put random explosive traps. Oh. Oh, okay. No. Okay, I'm going to walk that back. I'm really, really going to enjoy this. And when it's 33 versus 33, so a slightly understrength platoon versus a slightly understrength platoon, not including that 5% number advantage, it's probably going to go to like 31-35 at that point. Every kill on the attacking team is going to count. I think they're setting up more mines around here, maybe digging some trenches to try to funnel them into that spot. Real good calls there. Round's going to begin in a few minutes, though, so they need to book it out of here, but it's always smart to set up some explosive mines where you can to try to guarantee a kill, but if not, some well-placed explosives. Not necessarily on the cache, but around in open places where the shock won't get absorbed. So in a pile of grass. Or if your cache is right next to a building, or like, you know, next to a position where you know your opponent is going to garrison that you can collapse, put the satchel there, and as soon as you see movement, give it like 10 seconds. And then just click it, because it's great. But I would say well-placed explosive traps when they're used, I would say 1 out of 5 times they're actually very, very effective. I'd say 2 or 3 out of times they do something. But I know that we had a period in FNF where some people really got smart with their explosive placement. Yeah, English. And there were some pretty nasty multi-kills. Now a few people have wised up to it. However, those communities don't really actively play anymore, which means we now have a new wave of fun little explosives that we can see. Hey, Ghost Wolf, how you doing, buddy? Alright, so Blue 4 is going to be taking one vehicle and going south. The rest are coming in from the western side, moving east. So we'll probably see a direct fight on the sectors early on, and then that one group to the might move south, get the demolition on those pieces, and then move north. Honestly, based off of positioning, so this means about 2/3 of Blue 4 is going to be assaulting the northern side where Op 4 is strongest, and then 1/3 is going to be going down there. That, by default, I would say... I want to say it puts it in Op 4's favor, because Blue 4 is taking 2/3 of their force and fighting the entirety of Op 4 minus a few guys here, but they're going to immediately run up here. At the same time, though, Op 4 I don't really see putting a lot of forces out in secondary positions to kind of cause attrition, damn it. Sorry, I immediately heard an explosion, and that was because Zixme blew himself up on a mine. Incredible. Alright, well... There were some explosive traps, and unfortunately, yeah. Maybe he was running up to put an explosive down, but not realizing it was already covered, and then he immediately tripped it. That's a very Zixme thing to do, though. He's a wild card. Kind of reminds me of a less powerful Falcon. But they do stupid shit on occasion. Oh, well. So Blue 4, I mean, with one major fight right here, maybe the attrition is going to be moving from one position to another. But just the way I see things, either Blue 4 is going to come up, bulldoze these AOs, or they're going to get caught out of position and eliminate. It's... Ops have gone too many ways either way, but it looks like instead Blue 4 is going to go for a sandwich in on the southern side, and then a unified push through the open ground, or maybe they go low and then through the city and then this. So either way, it's going to be a bit of a longer round. Now, one thing Sam brought up in chat is... Sam, are you my Sam, or are you a different Sam? You had FNF on you, though, so I'm assuming you're my Sam, but I digress. Sam brought up that they lowered the kill time by increasing... He's the real Sam, fair. You said that you increased... didn't say increase, you said change the pass-through value in Ace, which I think means that the pass-through value... would be increased for bullets to then penetrate armor a lot easier, and thus it's easier to kill people, because how the new way damage is dealt with Ace, if you play with the pass-through variables, is the more you increase it, I think the more it increases potential pass-through, which means people are less tanky. Yeah. Honestly, I'd say... watching FNF when I have been able to the past few months, I'd say on average it would take, if you're mag dumping someone in the chest, it's so hard to say, because it depends on, you know, if you manage to get like a random headshot in there, but I'm thinking like square on to square on. I want to say the average amount of bullets I see go into someone before they go down is anywhere between like 6 and 8. Unless they get the headshot. But usually when you're in CQC, you have people mag dumping each other. Yeah, I would say it's been taking about 6 to 8 bullets to kill a guy. Which, again, with body armor, it makes sense to negate those first few bullets before the sustained damage breaks the chest, the chest plate, but that's not how it works. So, because, you know, you would get that per engagement, and at that point it's, knockout damage that either brings people unconscious, or they just get a headshot during that spray that kills them. So I think by increasing the pass-through coefficient, especially on chest shots, we're going to see a bit better of a play here. Yeah, 150 meters with 0.1, the player takes 1 time small. So was it on 0.1 before? Because I agree, if you're only going to take a small wound from range, you want your bullets to be a bit more effective. I get it that, you know, we lose muzzle velocity, but here's the thing. If you look at this tracer, you see that it's solid red. What that means is the bullet still has its peak muzzle velocity as it's going. So a bullet at this range should be doing the same amount of damage as it does in, like, CQC. Once that color of the tracer starts turning, I believe it's green and then blue, green means it starts losing its muzzle velocity, which means the bullet hits at less of a speed, which means it should then do reduced damage. But I mean, let's have a look here. We're right here, we see these bullets going over, and this is at like 760. So that makes sense. You know, it's about, like, I would say 650 meters, then the bullet starts running out of muzzle energy. But if it's at 150 and you're only delivering small wounds, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I think I agree with this change. I'm just curious to see how that's going to translate in CQC capability. But it looks like we already had a blue 4 guy get headshotted. Doggo. I'm trying to see, was that a marksman over here that got him? Yeah, Gates picked him off with the SVD headshot. That's great. Point spread is 50-50. I'm gonna be honest, I agree with that call. There isn't really anyone noteworthy on either side. We do have some Scandy players on blue 4, but op 4 we've got, you know, ex-Scandy like Nafs. We had Zixme. But op 4 also have a really good defensive position, so blue 4 going with the wrong strategy, they're gonna be screwed. Off the bat, we do have Delta taking this hilltop, which I think is actually the right call because they're trying to set up an Overwatch element so the rifle squads can come in. What they didn't account for, though, was, you know, op 4 marksmen that can potentially pick them off. And that's why I also kind of disagree with just putting the machine gunners on an Overwatch position. You really do want to put the marksmen with them. That way, if there's someone harassing them, then they can easily pick them off. But okay, no, that's a CC68 side. We do see a marksman up here to give that benefit, but Mike gets knocked out. And that was potentially by like 2 or 3 bullets firing from Fawns. So the way people are dropping now, I actually do agree with this. And it's going to force people to stay more in cover. But another exciting thing about it is that means one single troop is going to be a lot more dangerous in these AOs. Because how we've been seeing FNF the past, like, I want to say 8 months, we might just had a mine go off. A mine or some grenade just went off, got multiple knockouts, a kill even. But it also means that, you know, if you jump a guy, you are going to probably be able to kill them with those 2 or 3 bullets before they turn around and start mag dumping you. Because what would happen with a lot of solo players that ended up, you know, fighting a group of people on their own is they would find the first guy, and if they didn't immediately headshot them, the person they were hitting would have enough time to actually turn around and deal damage or even headshot the guy shooting at him, because the bullet placement was more important than the body armor. So now I think we're going to see a lot more really cool actions based off of individual players. And that's, I'm going to be honest, that's why I like to cover FNF. Ever since the Audrey Hotto incident, I love seeing players that are able to literally take out a majority of the player base on their own. All right, Cash is quickly cooked off. 762 by 51, showing some pretty... That was literally, I want to say, a mag at most from both, but that was a partial. So, yeah, 762 by 51, especially with the armor pass-through, it's going to be doing a lot more damage. We saw that with early FNF, but then it got tweaked a bit, so the damage was a bit more even. And it became more of a fire rate was more important. We saw that with an old campaign on Maladin 2035 between British paratroopers with, oh my gosh, what was the gun? It was like an FNFAL, but it was their version of it, and I'm completely blanking on the classification. But it was that 20-round bullpup thing. That wasn't a bullpup. I'm thinking of the L1A1. Or was it the L1A one? Either way, it was semi-auto, but they had the bigger caliber, but they were fighting dudes with AKMs. And the AKMs with full auto always beat them out. That grenade might puncture. Wow, the shrapnel did not puncture the sheet metal, and Pierce survived that. But yeah, that with flanking shots by Cheeseburger, that immediately brought him down, and Pierce didn't even have a reaction second to actually hit Korvac there. I'm liking this damage so far, is what I'm trying to say. But in those previous rounds, and this was like 3 years ago, I want to say, it was fire rate of the AKs that always beat out, I think it was the L1A1. But those 20-round single-shooter British paratrooper rifles. Can someone look it up? That's gonna be in the back of my mind now. I think it was the L1A1, but it was their 20-round version of the FNFAL that used 7.62x51. It's escaping me. But now that damage is tweaked again, we might actually see that the caliber of the weapon is important. Also, though, it's always going to matter the angle of where you engage people. Because notice Curie, I think he took 2 shots up here for friendly fire. But since he was perpendicular of his shooter, a lot of those bullets are still going to go into his arms. And Arma doesn't really handle limb damage that well. You can't really kill someone on multiple limb hits. The best you can do is kind of pain knock them. You really have to go center mass. L1A1 SLR. Thank you. God, I just wanted to be sure, because otherwise that was going to drive me crazy. I think Charlotte now... First magazine into that cache. Yeah, so some of those bullets were missing, but yeah, the caches are only taking like a mag and a half. We saw another 3 hits here, but Korvac was doing that serpentine, so some of those hits might have been on the limbs. But I really do want to do a count of how many bullets it's now taking on the torso hits to actually kill somebody. You're right, yeah, because after the L81, it was the L85, and that was that really shitty bullpup that fired in 5.56 that everyone freaking hated. Major Connie got a few good hits with that on McBain. Surprised McBain is just immediately proning it and trying to medical. Major Con's trying to go for a triple time disengagement, and I think he got spotted. He's going to continue to try to harass Blue 4 from afar. But looking at the skull count, so Pierce was 2 IC, he's dead. Zixme blew up on his own mine. And I know there's been a few more kills, though, but I think they left. And then meanwhile, Blue 4 has lost 3 so far. So no one's really gotten a bit of an advantage yet. We could see Major Con come up and harass, but I'm going to be honest, the SVD, I hate that gun. It's... The only times I like it is when you're in, let's say, Stillwater Security on Saturdays, where you need a magnified optic, but you're too poor to really afford anything else. But you're fighting AI that don't have magnified optics, but you don't let that give you a confidence boost, because those fuckers will still headshot you. I would know. But in a PvP scenario where you're fighting guys with, 20-round weaponry with better magnification, that gun sucks. Your best bet would be to literally try to find an isolated guy, kill him, take his weapon, use that as your backup gun, and then maybe you open up from afar with the marksman rifle, but then you try your best to find your opponent's marksman rifle. So we see these guys are trying to mount up here. Some stray bullets going off, I think, from the marksman over here. Cache is destroyed. Op4 still holding these positions. Charlie, I think, has calmed down here. Yep, they're going to try to take an Overwatch position and start trying to push some of the outskirts Op4 elements away and then picking them off. I'm going to be honest, though. This is a game for a player like Cullis to really excel. Because that should be an SU-230A sight with the red dot on top, so that sight is calibrated for 7.62x51. And he should have a very easy time getting up on a hilltop right here and then picking people off, because it's all mostly within 500 meters and the farther positions within 600. So he should be more than accurate from that range. And I really do miss the days of seeing when a single or a handful of marksmen would really change the game in FNF. I'm really hoping with these new pass-through coefficients that we see the effectiveness of marksmen rise up again, because I really miss the old days of FNF. Back, I want to say, in like 2019, 2020, where we had the X-ray sniper teams, but they were always misplayed, and it was basically just a 4-man team that just went off and did its own thing. Very rarely did you see it actually incorporated with the rifle squads, but every single time it was incorporated with the platoon, and they were given a good position to snipe from, they would just start picking people off. Left, right, and center, and it was so freaking rare, and that's what pissed me off about it the most. That marksman would literally be able to thin out like 4 dudes over here, 3 dudes over here, and then the attackers would just bulldoze the rest of the AO. Even if they did stupid things like Pierce plays, where they ran through the open and took heavy attrition, they would still bulldoze, because by the time they got there, there was only a skeleton crew remaining, because that sniper just outright shot everyone from literally half a click away. And it was beautiful to see, and it always baffled me that you had these rounds with these things happening, but no one would continue to do it. They would just let that X-ray sniper team just go out. Like, let me give you an example. If Blue 4 was assaulting from here and here, they'd put that sniper team, like, up here to just sit and do nothing and maybe plink out from even farther out. No! Put that bitch with Delta. Put them on the hilltop with Delta, and they can pick off any of the annoying freaking marksmen that harass Delta. But they never made that call. And if... God, it was infuriating. Back in the day, it was very, very infuriating. I understand why they got rid of him eventually, and it was sad to see him go, but at the same time, they just weren't being played right. All right, so Blue 4 now doing some maneuvering. We see a lot of them trying to move around back here. We've got Charlie moving up on this side. I'm just a little worried that we're going to start seeing the Overwatch fallacy. Charlie might get stuck up here and want to play Overwatch for the rest of the game. Delta's going to stay on that hill and play Overwatch. That's most of their infantry, though. That's half. So now half are actually, you know, plinking at people, and the other half are now going to assault. That means half of the remaining Blue 4 force, let's say they're at 90% right now, 45% of the players are going to be assaulting this hilltop, whereas Op 4 still has roughly... It's a lot more than 45%, but across these two AOs that can cover each other, they've got a much higher number of forces here that can fight back a weaker opponent. When I say weak, I mean basically by sheer number advantage. When you're attacking, you generally want to have that number advantage going. I'm not saying it's bad to have Overwatch. Quite the opposite. Having an Overwatch machine gun element to suppress the position to make them all get their heads down is great, but they have to do it at an angle that the enemy's actually watching. So this attack right here, where these guys can fire in on this position as these guys move up, is great as long as they stay more on this side rather than going too far left, because then they'll run into Op 4 positions that can engage them and their Overwatch can't do anything about it. He is immediately cut down. But yeah, we see some of the Op 4 marksmen. I know he got a kill on one of the Delta guys up there. What I am a bit concerned about, though, is now we're having Delta fold in. And I think they're making that call based off of the fact there's too much foliage here and there's not enough room for Op 4 to engage this spot. Plus, they're all turning around and trying to deal with Charlie back there. Plus.
Years of Liru being the eyes in the sky.
I mean, this is a very thin angle, so Blue 4 can just get right into grenade range and bomb the shit out of it. But Blunt Traps, thanks for the 24-month resub, buddy. That gets you a silver Lance Corporal badge. Thank you for all your support. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. All right, so these guys are going to be pulling eyes, and this is also another interesting, but I would say good call. By these guys running down right here, popping some smoke, they're pulling a lot of attention from this garrison away on that farther element, while they're letting this closer element rush right up to them. And I think that's also part of the reason why they pulled Delta down. If Op 4 has enough people facing the wrong direction, that number advantage that Op 4 enjoys from, you know, having most of their forces up here is going to be nullified because their attention's split elsewhere. So what we're going to see now is these guys are going to come in. I would say 9 out of 10 times they're going to eliminate this position right here. These guys are then going to move in, probably run in that 2-man group, regroup with these guys, and then start pushing this position as Charlie pretty much comes around. And then this final position is going to get pushed from 2 ways. I would say this is more than likely going to be a Blue 4 victory. However, we could see some single Op 4 players come in and completely change it up with a few well-placed grenades, a few well-placed GLs, and some really nice rear action, giggity, of them just spraying players down before they get a chance to turn around now with these new pass-through coefficients. So we just had an RPG come up to Blue 4 Charlie here. I don't think it was fruitful, though, and I don't see any KIAs or wounded, so... Still, I mean, from where I saw that smoke plop up, that was a very good shot, but it's easier to just let them get a bit closer so you can guarantee either a kill or a multi-down. Based on the range. Yeah, I do like how they fortified this tower a bit, but I'm not sure how effective it's going to be when there's so many Blue 4 that can come in. And it just takes one good AT4 hit on this like backboard right here to pretty much knock everyone in front of it or even kill them. Because AT, you're not really using it as a noob tube to insta-kill people. You're just using it to knock people out to buy you time to then push into the compound and get your foot in the door. Look at this smoke charge, though. So now Blue 4 is going to get right up to grenade range because smokes you can push out further. Op 4 is going to throw some defensive grenades to be safe. You got some thermite grenades coming in. GL just went right into that bunker and knocked out 2 people. More grenades now coming in. Explosive charges going in. That could get a multi-kill. Wow. 2 people literally blown out from the middle. The knocked out player was also killed. Tundian wakes back up, but this is a perfect assault for Blue 4. You start with the smokes. You make the internal garrison panic. You'll lose a few guys because Op 4 will panic and throw frags. You will throw in your own frags. You'll throw in some explosives. And that's all you need. Now your guys are right on the wire, about to cross inside. You got some blind suppression going in as the smokes are kind of in everyone's face. Op 4 is going to start the defenders are going to start freaking out, in this case Op 4, and trying to move people to the other position. You've got Op 4 even doing a bit of a counterattack as Blue 4 is now trying to set up to start staging for the next position because they're confident that their guys are going to take this AO. And now it's really just up to the CQC here. That is really interesting. We just saw in a CQC situation a PKM lose to a 20-round battle rifle. I think the Blue 4 battle rifle has a slightly higher fire rate than the PKM, but even so, I'm definitely seeing a difference with this pass-through coefficient. People are going down a lot quicker, and it's giving people less of a reaction time to turn around and try to go for that headshot. Now, what's interesting was we have a few Op 4 guys cut off because they don't realize this first position's been hit. It is getting ticked down, though. Charlie's in a position to start plinking over here. Op 4's trying to remake their battle line, but with the sheer amount of guys up here, I don't think Op 4 has a chance to really pull back and establish a new position. A lot of people got picked off in this compound as they tried to go, simply from explosives. So you got Chris doing some blind suppression out here. He's on 3 kills, though. Curie on 2, trying to find an angle to get some nice headshots on these guys here. And you got Blue 4 and Op 4 pushing each other on this position. So some of Delta has turned around. They did take a big chunk of casualties, though, in the middle, though, from these 3 Op 4. And now the rest of Delta is just trying to clean house instead of pushing up to reinforce. I think if Blue 4 and Op 4 were down to this, Op 4 would be in a much better position because this small fight would play out and then Blue 4 wouldn't have the manpower to push. But Blue 4 has an entire full squad on reserve coming in from another flank. I don't think Op 4 is going to be able to hold this one. Someone just missed through an explosive charge. Thankfully, it doesn't kill anybody because there weren't any Op 4 here to do it. Sector 1 goes down. Now it's up to this other sector, which is labeled as Sector 3. 28 minutes left on the clock. We're not even halfway through the round. I don't see how Op 4 can really bounce back off of this one. Charlie's now making a move, sending people up. They're staggering a few people forward. They got people in the back line running suppression. You see that one of the marksmen up here was taken out. The other one is constantly pinned down. He's actually doing medical, which means he took hits as well. We've got a few Op 4 trying to come around to interdict. Dream taking damage. He gets taken out from a really good ambush by Banks on the side. But Blue 4 just has the numbers to continue. You got Little Banks running around. I think okay, I thought he got a kill there, but... Oh, he runs right into Tomer, who ends up mag dumping him. Little Banks only able to get out a single shot before he gets knocked and then double taps. So So yeah, definitely less bullets needed to kill people, so there's less of a reaction. So that also means, though, that there's less attrition for the attacking side. Because think about it logically. If you are trading and you're able to get a kill, or for every kill you get, you take a little bit of damage, that's going to slow you down, cause you to need to get medical, cause the medic to come up, give you some blood to top you back off. Or you don't do medical, and then the next firefight you get into, you need to take less bullets because you already have a bit of pain damage on you, and you're much easier to get knocked out. So by the time you get into like your third engagement, you're already in moderate pain. 2 bullets are going to knock you out, even though you need to get 8 on the person, but by then, you know, you might be in the middle of a group that's already trying to hunt you down. Now that there's less bullets needed, you are able to pretty much kill a guy before he can react to you. Which means if you then get an ambush on another player, you're not taking any attrition, you're not taking any pain, you're not even getting hit at that point. Maybe you get hit once if like you're engaging from their peripheral vision. But I mean, that's another great example. He went down. Normally he'd be able to turn and maybe get a shot or 2 off of Daedalus, and then Daedalus has to deal with it. But now that people are taking more damage from less bullets because, you know, we're dealing with AP ammo now at this point. If an attacker is doing really, really well, they can just really start to do that bulldoze. One of the biggest advantages for defenders was that attrition of, okay, we might have just lost a squad, but we have successfully stalled them, and now we have time to regroup all of our forces to a new line, and then maybe we can overwhelm them. The defenders, regardless of side, don't have that advantage anymore. And again, caliber of the bullet is now going to be a lot more effective because you do deal a lot more damage with a bigger caliber if a lot of it isn't getting absorbed in the vest. Which, in my opinion, is how it should have always been. So we got some grenades going over. Those are smokes. We see Norris trying to do a flank here. Immediately knocks the Yanni and immediately gets pertinent. That's what I'm talking about. Instead of having to burn like a half to full mag on Yanni, and then Yanni would start running after he took fire, and then Pertin would have turned and immediately killed Norris there. Though I think based off of this angle, he hit Yanni in the legs a little bit. Norris doesn't realize it, and now Yanni's going to immediately pick him off. So angles, again, is going to be incredibly important. And then he gets the kill that time because now he was at an angle where he had Yanni's complete back. So none of the bullets registered as any limbs. Because I have a feeling based off of that angle, some of the legs were hit there. So that's why Norris wasn't able to get that kill. So again, angle is still very important. I'm going to be honest, Arma 3 hitboxes, no one really talks about it, but they are super freaking wonky at certain angles. Nemesis now coming up and throwing grenades. That was also a good example to show how FNF was done previously, where, you know, people would wake up after getting knocked and then continue the fight, because most of the damage being done when you mag dump someone in the chest was just pain damage to knock them out rather than anything physical. The wounds were usually smaller. Great AT in that bunker. That immediately got a kill. Pingus gets a hit, but again, I think that was his arm because he was pulling away. Kiri's going to now catch him. Pingus now returning fire. Kiri trying to finish his mag load. Buddy goes down. Pingus now takes fire, tries to roll into the wood here. And Cheeseburger just couldn't find the shot on him and finally gets it. Though I would say Pingus, he was kind of partially in the wood. You saw his body phasing through a bit. So again, a little bit of a hitbox texture. You got Norris, he's found Puma and knocked him out. But now Norris is trying to dodge Flying Finn's fire. Headshot gets missed. Lawn grenade throw there. That's just a little early. Sector now being taken, and Not 4 only have a handful of people left. Norris goes down by Cheeseburger flanking because he's got that 249 clone, the Mini-Me. Major Khan trying to come over now. He immediately takes fire from Mike. Runs right into Batty. Batty misses most of its hits. We're seeing a bit of a... I saw some bullets getting caught by the Battle Tower texture, but Mike runs up, gets the double tap. Bait's still up. You've got Ash trying to fire from the rear with that RPK. He's got a pretty nice angle, but through Overwatch, he's not able to do much other than harass. RPK gunner comes out. Batty gets taken out, and woo! Bates gets a little bit of air there, and that's going to be GG. Mag dump the double tap. Another float there. And Ash is the only one left. He's off sector. Blue 4 have the number advantage, and here it's GG. I think this change was great. I think weapons are now a lot more effective, as they should be, in my opinion. But this was a great warm-up round as well. Took about 28 minutes with that 15 minutes of safe start. Pretty solid first round. Great warm-up to see what we have on par for the next 2 rounds. Probably, you know, vehicle rounds, or maybe we'll be surprised. $10 seconds. Not even. 5 seconds. And here's the really interesting thing. I don't really think Op4 could have done anything differently. Because there's not really any, from those little hilltops, there isn't really a position that you can set up a new defensive line when you only have 33 people. And Op4, when that first position started taking fire, you saw that their immediate response was to run, but by then Blue 4 is right on top of them. They put grenades down, they put some explosive charges down. Op4 didn't have the chance to pull some of their guys back. And when they tried to send additional guys in to relieve their forces from pulling away, not realizing that they'd already lost them, they also got picked off. So I don't think Op4 made any bad calls there. I think that was just the nature of the scenario. And I mean, Blue 4 definitely still had a few casualties. They were down to at least less than 10 men by the end. Oh, my alliteration is not good today. So it just really came down to the PvP. And I'm going to be honest, I think the fire rate of those those G3s, the fact that they were 7.62 by 51, and the fact that you could full auto them was the real kicker. If they're semi-auto, that's when the AK usually has the advantage because it'll beat them out, whereas, you know, you have a player just, you know, fast clicking. But if you can just hold that down, we saw that that fire rate was even beating out a PKAP. So, I mean, if you have a bigger caliber and you have the better fire rate, you're probably going to do a bit better, at least player to player. I'm trying to think, though. Because Zixme blew himself up earlier. He is one of the better players on tonight. I don't think he would have been able... We've seen him get some pretty nasty multi-kills. And I feel like for new FNF rules with this armor pass-through, he's going to do a lot better. But I don't think he could have turned that tide with the amount of players that were still up. But that's just my opinion. Okay. 1 second. All right, so the person that is having so 101st Vietnam Community, they're the ones hosting the 12-hour op tomorrow. He just shot me a message. I need to update something on the mission files as an arsenal change, so. Okay. All right, cool. So that stuff I'll take care of after Daisy. All right, we're doing round 2, where... God, I'm doing a 12-hour Zeus out tomorrow. That still hasn't hit me yet, because I've been doing all this other stuff in the background. It's a destroy and an assassin target. Interesting. All right, where... Blue 4 is attacking a Green 4 sector and assassinating Green 4 GC. Blue 4 has a 5% numbers advantage, a CH-53 with a GAU-21, which is the rear fast-firing 50 cal, an LAV-25. Autocannons are going to be in play. And what is that? 2 M2 Humvees. 2 M2 Humvees, those 1151 M2s. I think that's the up armored variation. And then 2 M113s. 2 M113 M2s and transport for the other vehicles. It would help if I could spell right. while green 4 has... Oh, 2 BTR 80As. 2 Dishka pickups and transports. Alright, blue 4 won that last round. And I need to also switch up the map command. It's going to be on Anaze. Alright, I'll be right back 1 second. Alright. Did the map command not update? No, we're good. Alright. Oh, man. Well, I hope everyone else is doing A-okay. Do you think the change will make a disparity between the average and good players even larger? I do. Cater, I really do, and... It's hard to... Like, I can say that on paper, but I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of the player names I see in FNF, I'd say out of the 70 of them, I recognize at least 45 to 50 of them. And a lot of the skill gap that was in FNF in the past was whoever was quick enough to get that headshot. Now, it's whoever can get rounds on target first. And I think a lot more people in this lobby are capable of actually hitting each other with a few bullets rather than getting that headshot. But I also think this is going to make... It's hard to say. I think there might be a week or a few rounds where those really skilled players that always aim for the head will now just start aiming for center mass. Or if they recognize they're in a situation where they might hit the limbs, they just aim for the head anyway to get that guaranteed headshot. But I think after a brief adjustment period, then you're going to see a greater disparity between a few players, but it's also going to really depend on positioning. Because you got to remember, as soon as someone like turns their body, I want to say maybe more than 30 degrees left or right, and instead of torso damage, they're being dealt arm damage, because again, how Arma hitboxes work, that's where you're still going to see some pretty interesting disparities, and it's still going to feel like, you know, things are on the older system, when in reality, instead of body armor, it's just the person's limb. So, it's hard to say, but I think we'll really start seeing it take effect by either round 3 as people get used to it or next week. But we already saw it here. I mean, we saw Norris bounce back and get a few kills and really help lower that, you know, blue 4 number advantage. I think he was one of the reasons why it went from double digits for blue 4 to single digits, because he was able to walk in and still score a few more kills there. So, we'll see. But again, the thing with the hitbox there, he still only got Yanni in the legs because of the angle. So again, angles are still going to play in. I don't know. It's just... on paper, as I said in the beginning, yes. But now we're going to be really shown why Arma hitboxes are super freaking wonky and why I hope for, you know, future games there's a bit of a bleed through where if you get hit in the arm but it's at a certain angle where the bullet should also travel in the chest, it should also do chest damage. But, you know, that's just me. Alright, so we'll be doing round 2, then round 3. Taking a small break. Let me see if Razor reached out to me. If Razor's not available tonight, then we'll get Charlotte. And then we're just going to be doing Daisy once a week. So if I miss a Friday... Oh, nope, there's Razor. So earliest Razor can do is 19:30 for me, which is 7:30. Okay. Might start earlier and... run it, then we can transition. Only reason why I want to start a bit earlier today is because I still have to make a few changes for some 12-hour Zeusing next week. Wait, why am I saying next week? Tomorrow. Yeah, what they're talking about down here. Oh god, did Dixme say something about the Polish? I wasn't paying attention. I always mean to censor him. He is super racist against Polish people. Oh, I hope that doesn't get me in trouble. Remember to pace yourself? Oh, I'm fine. Pacing? Who needs pacing? Just burn yourself out. Make your money and then just, like, collapse. Oh, God, and they're just egging him on in chat, too. Zixme is a very funny character, alright? But, like the people of Stillwater. Oh, my God. I remember a few weeks ago, and I was actually told, this past Tuesday, I said I was going to potentially stream a Stillwater Security Solutions op. I was told outright to only stream the Saturday ones, because we have a few characters in there as well. And this VOD has been removed before I bring it up. But a few Tuesdays ago, we were doing a deep recon mission. And we were kind of in the wrong place. And I was kind of, telling my guys, or the guys, they're not mine, but, guys in my squad, hey, like, we should probably start moving. So we start moving. We run into a civilian. We're in Africa. And the civilian spots us because we're under some streetlights. And he takes off. And before I can even react, our squad leader yells, "Get that!" Anyway, I had to quickly tab out and remove the VOD and just go, God damn it. I shouldn't laugh, but that caught me completely off guard. Some of the shit you run into with some of these people online while you're streaming, and you're supposed to not stream it, because it gets you into trouble. But it's the funniest fucking shit. Oh my god. Alright. Let's go ahead and go over what the AO is. We have some yellow zones here, and then we have a destroy objective right here. Mission details for this scenario. Oh, first, let me get the prediction up so you can bet. Yeah, fake channel points. Maybe one day I'll turn it into real money. God, wouldn't that be awesome? Alright, so blue 4 is attacking. Now green 4 is defending. I'm going to set it to the 15 minutes there. And we'll go from there. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and look at the mission details here. So tasks, blue 4 are going to be defending a cache and a VIP, and we'll go over these details in a moment. Green 4 trying to... Okay, it says defend as well. Wait, that says for blue 4. All right, blue 4 is attacking it, green 4 is defending it. I don't know why that's glitched out. Staff member Kiri has entered Zeus as a player in-game. Oh, great. Kiri is the Phantom Zeus. Who knew? Anyway, mission details here. Render range is going to be 1,500 meters. 4 to 5 points for the defenders is 125. Tan color and pink 4. Who is pink 4? I know there's a purple 4. That's civilian. And okay, so you see who goes into Zeus. That's a nice feature. I guess some people got salty. Otherwise, 65-minute standard round, 50 minutes of play, 15 minutes of safe start. And we already went through all that other stuff. Parameters, nothing on performance tweaks. All right, blue 4 are going to be Afghanistan partnering unit. Interesting. So basically before we pulled out and the Taliban took over, this is all of our old U.S. surplus gear we gave to the ANA. Lovely. So we've got some SCAR. No, those are 211s. Mark 211 marksman rifle. So this is all just kind of U.S. equipment. So 249s, 240s, AT4s. And then, what is that, M16A2s or A3s? Might be A2s. Otherwise, vehicles, we have 2 M2 M113s, 3 transport trucks, 2 M2 Humvees with the up-armored version, as I said, and then 3 transport Humvees, an LAV-25 with AP rounds, 3 70-round boxes, and the CH-53 with that rear 50 cal, which is that GAU 21, 900 rounds for that. That thing fires quick, though. And then green 4 are going to be standard, Middle Eastern Coalition kits, so a little more organized, kind of like Islamic State. Otherwise, we have... No, I don't think... Those aren't AK-103s. It's an AK platform. I think this is the export AK. I can't remember the exact designation. I think that's 7.62x39. Could be wrong, but it's always hard to tell when you have a cross-sight of this. Otherwise, we have SVDs, RPKs, RPGs, PKPs, RPG-32 for the MAT team, and then a PP-2000 for the vehicle crews. Otherwise, transport Euros, 2 BTR-80 Alphas with 150 rounds per. It looks like an AK-103. Yeah, that's why I'm like, is it? Is the 103 chambered in 5.56? Or is that the 101? That might be the 101. So the 103 might be 7.62x39. 101 is 5.56. Yeah, I'm just getting them confused. All right, my bad. Yeah, I thought that was the 5.56 one. I'm like, no, wait, but I knew it was a 103. Ah, whatever. Anyway, they also have 6 static Dishkas and then 2 pickup Dishkas, but the real power is going to be in these BTR-80 Alphas. But thank you for correcting me, guys. I would lose my sanity. Otherwise, looking at the side, Goose is loose, and he is also going to be the blue 4 commander. No Alpha. Zamil going to be leading Bravo with Gonzalez as the marksman, Cheeseburger as the medic, Max Silmans as the 2IC with the grenade launcher. Bravo 1 has Waldo, Fancy, and Horno. Charlie has Puma leading. Looks like they merged everyone together, so it's Malin, George, Purton, Nekomata, Cullis, Dream, T-Wayne, Daedalus, and Nemesis. Delta being led by Theon. Delta 1 has Denziger leading with Aquasio, Utic, Pingus, Mike, and Basti. Mike and Basti being the machine gunners, same with Aquasio. So they're just taking only 3. Echo, meanwhile, has Pierce leading with Fawns as the medium anti-tank gunner, and then Bursty and Toms being the assistants, so they've got 6 rounds total for what I'm assuming is a Maz. That is correct. And then Golf is going to be Yanni, Iander, and Flying Finn in a vehicle crew. Interesting to see Iander in a non-AT role. Usually because he's drunk off his ass, and I would not charge... Oh, God. Why are you letting the drunk Finnish guy drive? I'm pretty sure that's illegal. And then Pupper and Tundian being the hotel crew, with Tundian taking the rear gun with that little World War II dingy AA sight. I love it. Anyway, Vagrant going to be leading green 4 here. Probably the VIP as well. We see that marker under him. I'll explain that mechanic in a moment. Depso being his medic. Otherwise, Arkin leading Alpha with Helnaraz, Deadpool, Dogo, Fren, and Maxic. Charlie being led by Norris with Gates as the 2IC, McBain as the medic. Charlie 1 has Scholin, Franz, Bates, and Harrington all together. Charlie 2 has Oddball leading with Watts, Lennox, Church, Dewittson, and Seven. Gazog leading Delta with Tackleberry as a machine gunner, so we don't see the machine gunner symbols with the name, so it's just a 2-man team with Tackleberry and Ash being the machine gunners, then Hampton being a assistant with ammo. Delta 2, okay, no, so they spread it out, so... Delta 2 has Major Khan and Banks being the machine gunners, then Little Banks and Zixme being the assistants. Echo being led by Charlotte with Swola as the AT gunner, with an RPG-32, and Korvac being an assistant, so they've got 4 rounds because 1 assistant and 1 gunner. Golf 1 has Kabubi Face and Steve together for 1 BTR-80 Alpha, and the other BTR-80 Alpha has Chris and Lolo. Otherwise, how Assassination works is the VIP... if he leaves any of these yellow zones, his position is accurately marked on the map. So what's probably happening here is Blue 4, as the attackers have been given a search zone for this destroy objective, because usually destroy objectives, they don't give you the exact zone. We're given it as the defenders to see its exact spot, but the VIP will go to either of these 3 zones, and then when we see him leaving, we'll see him live on the map, and so will Blue 4. But as long as he's in any of those yellow zones, he is fine. And what's always interesting about these games is sometimes they just turn into hide-and-seek championships, and the attackers can't even find them. It's the funniest thing. Is that Charlotte? Charlotte? Yeah, that's my community, Charlotte, which is also the one dabbling into DayZ administration. Oh my god, I want to play Namalsk, but I can't. Ah, man. Drunk finish guys are the best. I'll take your word for it, Sniper. AK-104 is the carbine version of the 103, yep, and then the 105 is 545, yep. So what's the 102? Because I know the 98 is the 9x39 version, or is that the AEK? Ah, whatever, we're gonna make our brains hurt. Drunk Pog players. Yeah, well, first we gotta get them out of pay for campaign, and I'm a little worried about pay for campaign because the true attrition is really killing them in that campaign. I think we're going to have a few players start to fade out of it, which is why I want to run a... well, we'll see where the poll goes, but... oh my god. As a Finn, I can confirm this, yeah, right? But we'll see where that goes, and then I'll probably just run some casual operations with them. Or I'll just set up a new campaign for us to go and do stuff. AK-102 is also 556, alright. I'm just wondering if that's like a carbine version or something, but either way. Oh, I've got so many other plans for operations, but first we just got to get through all of the fun little things I have planned for October. Alright. I think it's kind of funny, though, they have UN vehicles. Alright, so Blue 4 is going to have the choice to either fly in and go on foot while they drive some of their armed assets in, or just go in with, like, the 113s and have them on support. Gonna be honest, with Marksman in the consideration window and the fact that Green 4 do have a lot of Dishkas, those 113s are kind of just lunchboxes that can easily be penned and eliminated by anything big in the AO, so probably wouldn't feel too comfortable with them. Humvees are not much better. They have a bit more mobility, though, but... their off-road capability does kind of suck. Plinko OP? Yeah, I mean, we're going to see it again tonight, so... we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I might have to change up the Plinko board a little bit, and I'll just do the Plinko offline in a video and link to that video and give you guys the number read and then change the board a bit. Might change the, Actually, yes and no. Because here's the thing, 2 weeks ago, we sent us a wave of 23 vehicles, and I think only one made it into the AO, because both helicopters knew what they were doing. And I think the only reason things really slowed down was MacMarine lost his co-pilot, Lolo. Because Lolo, I guess, got bored of, you know, the Tunguskas locking them or whatnot, or got angry. But, I mean, the first bit of that op, they were fine. So I think it just really relies on having competent people in those spots to really weed out the vehicles to save the infantry. And if you don't have that, then they're screwed. And it's weird, because here I am, working in Arma 3, and one of the biggest things people ask me for is, hey, can we have support roles where we just dick a bunch of stuff? So I give them this where they can dick a bunch of stuff, and then they don't like it. So it's like, god damn, it's like freaking dealing with a 5-year-old. Which is why I only Zeus what I want to do, or what's voted in community poll, by a majority, so I don't have to deal with that shit anymore, you know? But that's just me. 5 minutes till the start. The hell you have a radar warning receiver? You know, I'm not sure, but I don't think the linebackers were super effective last night. I think it was more so the Tunguskas just missile dumping. How do you make missions in this game? Eden Editor. If you want to make actual scenarios, I would highly recommend you look up a guide or watch me or somebody else while we're doing mission dev. Because there's no... there's like 20 small things you have to do to actually set up all the game logic, and then you build your kits, build your opponents, set up your garrisons. Like, there's no way to, like, run you through, like, a 5-minute crash course, Mr. Scoofy. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, that and the AA teams. I mean, there was a lot of AA. We literally watched a few times when the helicopters got close, and there was at least, like, 8 or so missiles circling them. But they were able to evade some of them, which was pretty impressive. I already have a few Civi, and the ones that I haven't done, other people have done. Jester 814, Remy, oh my god, I'm blanking. It's some of the older guys in Arma 3 that moved from Arma 2. Shack Tack, Dyslexy, they've all got some guides on it. And there isn't really anything more I have to say compared to what they have. Granted, I mean, some of them are making scenarios for different things in mine, you know, some for more hardcore, some for automatic AI mods, and then, you know, some for generic. But it's just a broad question. And Mr. Scoofy, I'm not trying to be dismissive of you, it's just... I can't even find the words. Like, what are some good guidelines? It's a sandbox game. It's like going to a beach and finding a blank canvas of sand. Like, I'm gonna build my sandcastle a certain way, but you might build it a completely different way. So it's hard for me to give you pointers, if that analogy makes sense. I would just say keep it simple, talk to your player base, see what they want to play, and then build it based off of what your players like. And then get feedback from your players, and then tweak it accordingly. That's my standard advice, because anything else is, you know, too specific. You don't have a player base? It's only you? So then build missions based off of what you want to play. If you want to go play Star Wars, go download some Star Wars mods and make a mission. If you want to play Fall, I mean, then just make it however you would want to play. I'd say just, like, put yourself on a map, build yourself an op through the Zeus interface, and go to town. I'm gonna be honest, it is actually cinematic as fuck to take, like, a Star Wars mod or a Halo mod, set yourself to Invincible, and then just, like, be a grunt in, like, a 100 versus 100 scenario of just units, like, throwing themselves at each other. Set the armor pass-through to the lowest possible coefficient so everyone's super tanky. You can even set it so that your armor pass-through is super tanky, but the AI's isn't, and then you can knock them down easy, but then you still take damage. That is also cinematic as fuck. Yeah, you can do that, man. There's plenty of mods out there for everything. But you gotta do the research, which I guess is kind of why making scenarios is kind of a pain in the ass. You have to do all the work to find everything. Which is why whenever, like, someone joins Arma, first I would tell them, play through the campaign, see if you like the mechanics. If you like the mechanics, go and play in a community like 77J Soccer, another place that has invade and annex servers. You could play Anistasi servers, and then also look for a community that does dedicated missions. So you start learning how, you know, the basics of everything work, and then you can take that knowledge and then start making missions either for yourself or for other people. Because this game has a very high learning curve. You're probably going to be spending the first 20 hours learning. And some people don't like to do that. I mean, that's fair. You know, some people work 9 to 5s, 8 to 6s, whatever. And they don't have a lot of time, which is why games like Fortnite or Call of Duty or, you know, something that they can just jump in and play is a lot more good for them, you know? How long does it take to make a mission? It's going to take you more than an hour. It's going to take you a lot more than an hour. Because again, if you're just, like, learning everything, you're going to spend a lot more time kind of going through all the mechanics of what's available and adjusting things accordingly. Like, I'll be honest, I can make a mission in an hour. I can make a pretty good mission in an hour. A lot of the more simplistic ops I make are usually only an hour or two, but that's because I've been doing this for 8 years and I know how to, like, completely blitz through a bunch of stuff. And I already have my own templates and ready to copy and paste and whatnot. But for the average person, for a standard 1 to 2 hour mission file, it takes them, from what I've heard, anywhere from like 2 to 4 hours. That's just me. Alright, so anyway, let's go to the AO a bit here. So, helicopter has taken Bravo. It is going all the way down on the southern side and coming around. Blue 4 taking a major group. They did take those 113s. I disagree with that call because of what I mentioned earlier about them being pretty much lunchboxes that you can shoot into. But otherwise, Blue 4 appears to be setting up on the outskirts. They've given a Humvee to their Echo Vehicle Hunter team, and they're trying to spot in. Might be able to get an early snipe on this BTR-80 Alpha coming out. But we'll see if they're in position. We do have another 80 Alpha out here. And I don't think Chris spotted the units on that far side, but the 80 Alphas are basically poised out here to try to intercept any vehicles coming in. Meanwhile, we've got Blue 4 and Green 4 vehicles out right here. A full truck of Green 4. 50 cal's turning. Start shooting. Driver immediately gets knocked out. Now you're going to see everyone jump out. Look, this is going to be a slaughter. And that idiot literally runs into the 50 cal fire. Talk about situational awareness. The really sad thing is the 50 cal, Cullis, I think his gun got disabled. And you see that the bullets are actually disabling some of these soft-skin vehicles as well. But the fact that some of the Blue 4 guys ran into the 50 cal fire, that was so wrong. Hurting though, he knocks out ground command. And he's trying to get the kill on ground command now. Vagrant was going for, I think, a rush around. Blue 4 now trying to send QRF down. Looking up here, though, we've got the 80 Alpha looking over at Echo as Blue 4 is now bringing QRF down because they're trying to get the kill on Op 4 command because he is an objective here. Vehicle now going down. Blue 4 now on the hilltop. That was just a weird reversal. And Vagrant's still alive as, ironically, the bodies are kind of body blocking for him. People playing too much squad, yeah. People not also clearing lines for their heavier assets to fire. Blue 4, what the people that dismounted should have immediately done was popped a few grenades. That's what they really failed to do. And then the 50 cal should have immediately unloaded, not just at the dismount point, but in the canopy in the back to kill everybody. Dream now trying to flank around on this side. Zixme laying low. I mean, he's the one that really sweeped out a lot of those kills. We were talking earlier if that new change would create a disparity between players. Zixme, I think, single-handedly saved the few people that were still alive here by coming out and getting those kills. Yeah, Dream got kills. It's so weird. But I still think that was super silly of that one Blue 4 guy that ran into the 50 cal fire. But now we got Echo coming around the side. I think they have that live marker of where Vagrant is, so they're trying to find him. Dream's running up. Zixme's going to catch him and kill him. Purton's now looking around. He's Skyline. Zixme's now going to watch him. He's waiting with that red dot. Humvee! Tom's run Zixme over. That was a bit of a no-no. You're not supposed to do that, but I'm gonna not be a narc. Anyway, LAV-25 fighting with the BTR-80 Alphas over here. Ertz, give me 1 second, buddy. I know a few other people also dropped in with some stuff. I'll cover that in a moment by scrolling up in chat. We also have Blue 4 Company HQ has been randomly picked off out here. Their 113 got cooked off. I don't know if that was by an 80 Alpha or if that was by just the fact that a 113 is a piece of shit. Really, it could be either way. But yeah, all right, Green 4 command is dead. Now all Blue 4 need to do is go to the objective, but Green 4 have a pretty solid garrison here. And those soft skin Humvees, man, they're getting knocked out with only a handful of bullets from either 545 or 762 by 39. Great spray by Tom's there. Why no running over? It's called Vehicle Deathmatch or VDM. It's because otherwise people would just take the most up-armored vehicles and start running each other over rather than, like, using their guns. And it just promotes people to do a bunch of stupid shit rather than actually focus on tactics. Yeah, VIP's been assassinated because Vagrant tried to do this massive flanking action. I think to draw a lot of Blue 4 out so some of his stuff could, like, try to hunt stuff down instead, so... I don't know. It's an interesting call. Delta, though, they don't have any AT, and a BTR 80 Alpha's close by them. I'm not sure if the 80 Alphas are trying to hunt these down, but they definitely hear the 113s coming. That's another reason why the 113s kind of suck, is because they make a lot of noise at a very big range. So, I can... No, I hear the helicopter right now. So at this range, I hear the 113, and it's about 500 meters away. So you can hear that thing from half a click away. And that's why it kind of sucks. So Ertz, the next pay for campaign will be possibly this Thursday, because we're still doing the pay for campaign for POG on Thursdays. However, we might have a one-off in between as a palate cleanser, because they got their butts spawn camped pretty hard in the last mission, because one of their air assets decided to... One of the players there decided to leave, and he was the gunner for one of the attack helicopters. And without the helicopters to stop the vehicle spam that comes with pay for campaign, the players got pretty badly bogged down. However, tonight, we're still going to have the Plinko board for DayZ, so if you want to bully me instead, which I encourage because I need to give POG a little bit of a reprieve, we have that, and that'll be starting probably within 30 minutes of FNF ending. Here, scrolling back up. Yeah, Dream does well once in a while. Bandit, how you doing, buddy? I wanted to address you as well, since I'm watching you, but I am joining the Canadian Armed Forces soon. Nice, so I might not be able to watch as much. Hey, no problem, man. Hope everything goes well with you. I always have people I meet going into basic or AIT or something crazy, and they disappear for a few months. But that's life. That's your path. You do you. 80 Alpha's about to intercept. If not, they're going to reposition on the rear and try to snipe it. And the crazy thing is that they don't have any way to destroy the BTR 80 Alpha without using the 50 cal to potentially pick people off. I'm just a masochist? No, it's worse. I have a wedding to pay for. 50 cal's now looking around. We hear the helicopter. I'm going to be honest, the helicopter's not really going to be that effective. It's a massive target. 1 or 2 AP rounds in it will take it out. 50 cal will take it out. Yes, it has that rear fast firing 50, but there's just so many things that can smack it. I guess what we really need to be focusing on is how powerful Green 4's defense is going to be on this cache now that the assassin target's been hit. We do have a full rifle squad coming in from the west, mostly on foot, and then we have a Delta machine gun team coming from the north. Blue 4's LAV is still in play. Op 4 still has both 80 Alphas in play. Blue 4 have a few guys kind of on the outskirts here. That was really interesting that that round went by so quick for, not the round, but, you know, this phase of the operation. Now you've got the rear Gal 21 trying to fire at the 80 Alpha. That 50 cal will be able to pen, but at this range, they're not really going to get the hit. You see that the muzzle energy is starting to run out because those tracers are turning from red to green, so they might lose that muzzle velocity and not even be able to pen at that point. So we got some additional double taps here. Purton's prepping an AT4 in case that 80 Alpha decides to rush him. Look, I'm gonna be honest, prepare to be bullied. I did find it interesting how Charlotte decided, because I watched that VOD back for DayZ, which we did last weekend. the ending of, all right, you're going to be chased down by Deathclaws on a mountaintop, I thought that was pretty funny. Also, I realized Razor buffed the speed of the Deathclaws. They used to be a lot slower. Now those fuckers sprint. When I first saw a Deathclaw, I'm like, oh shit, and then I realized they're kind of slow and you can just leg them and run. Yeah, now they fucking sprint at you. Do you have any idea how terrifying it is to have a fucking Deathclaw sprint at you? All right, look at that. This vehicle might cook off, actually. First AT hit by Echo knocked him. And it is smoking, so there is a chance for the fuel to go up. They're trying to smoke to get into some cover here. There's the flame out. Crew inside is definitely going to be on fire. They're going to probably drive a bit to get into cover somewhere. But that LAV, the crew, is more than likely going to be dead. Yanni gets knocked out. Who made that AT shot? Because that was from about right here. They're already moving. That was a little under a 500-meter shot. Delta M113 gets taken out. Rest of the infantry, though, was dismounted and is still moving in. But who was that Echo AT gunner? That was Swola? Yeah, not a bad shot there. Pretty impressive. Yeah, Deathclaws are supposed to be fast, exactly. But yeah, I'll message Charlotte during the interim because I think she's on the ground right now. And I'll let her know that Razor will be on about 7:30 my time. Oh, he got pulled out and then he dies. That's unfortunate. But yeah, we'll go for like a 3 or 4 hour DayZ stream tonight just so I can palate cleanse and be ready for the 12-hour Arma stream tomorrow and then have some time to work on shenanigans. And of course, all the bullying we do in the DayZ does fund October Ops. So we do have a checkpoint RP we got to put up, but if we get things high enough, we might have Bloodwing do some DayZ streams in some sexy cosplays. All right, AT comes in. It gets hit, taken by the low wall there. It was very close to actually injuring Blue Force, so good calls there. What I'm worried about, though, is now we have 80 alphas on little hilltops overwatching the zone, and Blue 4 only has one angle where they're going to be effective against these. Other 80 alphas coming around another side. Blue 4 has another small amount of forces that can push in. I think Green 4 is in a very good position for this stuff. What is the mod which had those guys stop, drop, and roll? Unluckiest, are you talking about what generates the fire that makes them have to stop, drop, and roll? Or are you talking about a mod that specifically makes them stop, drop, and roll? Because the fire is a feature of Ace, but I know there's a specific mod that's an add-on for it that actually increases the ability to pat off the fire if you stop, drop, and roll. That's a separate one. Normally, the best way to do it is either roll around, that helps dissipate the fire a little quicker, or you have an Ace interaction to pat it off of you, which is great if you have a group of people around you because they can pat the fire off. However, there's a very small chance that they will then light on fire themselves, or you can just run into water and it negates it. I remember starting DayZ, pay for pain, pay for 2 tigers and spawn 20. Yeah, so that was back in the day where we were trying to make it work with a plugin that automatically interfaced with the server, and it occasionally bugged out. I remember the first weekend we tested it. I remember that, yeah. We almost, if not, did crash the server because it spawned nearly infinite landmines when someone got a landmine because the coding was... I borked the coding. And instead of placing one landmine in an appropriate doorway at a certain range, it placed a landmine at all doorways within an appropriate range. That one was funny. And then I think I remember the 20 Tiger incident, because it bugged the hell out and somehow threw a 0 in there for a... I don't even know how the fuck that happened. But yeah, we don't do it that way anymore because of EULA concerns. So now we just have an admin spawn stuff, and well, it's a lot less buggy. Plus, I always find it interesting for the $65 kill me off. What the admins decide to do with that is always quite interesting. Oh, and then Arma, of course, has its fair share of bugs. Don't get me wrong. You're a little disappointed there's no rooftop, Dishka? You normally don't see that in PvP because the rooftops are very open and it's very easy for an opponent marksman to immediately snipe you off. So 80 Alpha now trying to get some shots on the helicopter here. Little slow to track. Lolo Nah, I think he lost his angle on being able to hit it because the turn speed of the 80 Alpha kind of sucks. Yeah, now he's looking back up. He's completely lost the target. The trick is if you're spotting, you also need to pay mind of where the gun is because you have to tell the gunner, no, go left, go right, go up, you know. But if you're just giving generic directions without referencing where the gun is, that's useless for the guy inside that's tunnel vision. Because look at where Lolo's vision is. He has this little scope right here. He's not really able to see much.
Goat Team 6 now.
Pumpkin King, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario.
Send in Team 6.
Swola goes in and kills Asino there. Trying to get some more taps, runs out of ammo, makes Theon drop Mike there. Swola's going to potentially come around. This is the Echo guys that are breaching on Delta. What if you got a sub from Pumpkin King? Make sure you thank him. Otherwise, hope you'll keep enjoying the episode again. Nice kick out of this scenario.
6 now.
Charlotte just screwed up the grenade throw. And gets blown out of here for that. Poor Charlotte. That was funny as fuck.
Now.
Ah, the fetal position, holding your head because you boofed that grenade throw. And double tapped in said position.
6 now.
You know, I was looking at some numbers last night because I'm thinking about some finance stuff, but I'll talk about it during intermission. Just remind me about Twitch subs, and I have a few thoughts I want to give. Because no one's going to say they don't appreciate subs. I love subs. You guys directly fund me, but Twitch has been starting to pull some really shady shit with Twitch subs. And I'm going to start addressing it. AD Alpha's now firing on Blue 4 back here. I'm going to be honest, the way Green 4 set up and the way Blue 4 super spread out, I think this is going to be a Green 4 victory. Great GL placement from range, but I have a feeling this op's also going to get really dragged out. Just notice we don't have the timer on the top right for whatever reason. But yeah, we're only 18 minutes into the round. So halfway in another 7 minutes, but Blue 4 super spread out, and we only have small Green 4 teams coming in and doing a great job of harassing some Blue 4 elements. Maybe if Blue 4 rallies their forces and does a unified attack on the central area, they could still bounce this back, but I mean, with those 280 alphas moving around as well that are looking to pick people off, I don't know. I feel like this is leaning towards Green 4. And yeah, pretty much Shadow. But we'll get into it, because I want to give the full details, and then my thoughts on changing things, but... Now you got AP ammo coming in, Max quickly trying to fold in. 80 Alpha just can't seem to find a good angle here. And I don't see any ATs. Oh, this isn't good. Bravo has no AT. Is the Echo AT gunner still alive? So that team is still alive, but they're all the way back there. So they're out of play for another 5 to maybe 10 minutes, and these two BTR 80 Alphas, I think, are going to start sandwiching Bravo here and inflict some pretty serious casualties. And then as they run across, we do have some Green 4 in some high areas here. You got the other 80 Alpha that's going to potentially get behind this hill here. Yeah, so Blue 4 are kind of at Green 4's mercy at the moment with some of these positions, and I think attrition-wise, Green 4 is going to be able to inflict enough damage on Blue 4 so that Blue 4 is not going to be able to get in and assault the objective. Shadow Faranox, thanks for, Pharonix, excuse me, thanks for the Tier 2 resub for 29 months. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. AD Alpha now firing it, but notice there's no blood around. The AD Alpha just hasn't been able to get any actual hits. We see the bullets are kind of heading a little over, and these guys are a bit confused by that coax, thinking it's a machine gun position that they can suppress. And the AD Alpha actually backs off? What? AD Alpha, understandable. Have a lovely day. And just drives away. Okay. I did not have that on my bingo card, but hey. I'd agree maybe for a better angle because they're not able to see that much, but I'd be communicating with the other AD Alpha. I'd at least lock a position down, even if it's a bad position, so the other one can get in a good position, and then when it's able to lock things down, then you move. So I think maybe that one was secured at that point, but you want to at least be talking with the other vehicle crew, because this is pretty much two sharks with a massive school of minnows in the middle, and the sharks are trying to eat everyone they can. But they can also use the AP rounds to tear through buildings if they suspect anyone's inside. So I don't think they're coordinating, but, I mean, they just happen to be moving at times when other sides have better angles here. Korvac in the back corner gets a kill. Maneuvers around some grenades. Might hear Pingus running around on his left. Korvac's going to be holding defensive. He's now looking around to make sure he doesn't get breached. Pingus trying to come in from the rear here. He's going to watch that doorway. Fish are friend, not food. Pingus looking out from that window. You can hear Pingus's footsteps from all the way back here. Beautiful headshot right there by Korvac. 4 kills, did just take a hit there. Korvac immediately moving. Goose hears those footsteps. Here's a shot coming from the left. Pulls away at the last possible second, otherwise he would have had Korvac. And Korvac, I think, saw him and immediately pulled away. Nemesis Burton making a maneuver on the objective. Nemesis taking a lot of damage, finally gets taken out. Old man was lugging around a frickin' 249 and an AT4. Burton now trying to respond with some grenades, but they're landing short. He's not in the throw range for him. Maybe if they were V40s, they'd get a bit closer. But how can Burton solo up to that objective? Green 4 rallying some people around as well, trying to see if this is an attack going in. And Goose still moving in. He is command. And he loses to Korvac in that 1v1. So Blue 4 command is out. There's not going to be any coordination now for Blue 4 except for maybe some squads. And we still have some dudes out here. I don't know what Pumper and Tundian are doing. They're just checking vehicles. All right, where can Blue 4 still bounce back? Got 3 dudes down here, 1 off this side. Bravo right here, but the AD Alphas are harassing them. And then you got 2 dudes in the back. I think it's over. Going for a stroll. As Alucard would say, going for a walk. Except they're not killing anybody. Yeah, so Burton pulled back, trying to see if any Green 4 would come out to try to get him. Dewitson delivering some fire from over here. Gets a kill. Pierce is watching these little small areas here. We just had something try to engage in AD Alpha. Are you going to plant a bomb? No, you're not. You just got headshotted by the other AD Alpha. Because the ADs are actually covering each other. Ah! Close but no cigar. That's what I like to see, that level of coordination. Another Moz round goes out, and it's another miss! God, if only there was a, an AT player that, plays super solid that, decided to take the medium anti-tank weapon. Ah, if only. Yeah, Blue 4 are going to be taking their time here. You got Fonz up here. He's the one trying to range those Moz shots. I think he only has 2 rockets left. No, okay, so... Actually, I don't know if they grab Bursty's ammo, so he has at least 2, maybe 4 more rounds left. Ilbanek. Did I call Iander Ilbanek? I'm losing it. Alright, we gotta give Burton some credit here. He's on 4 kills. He does have a marksman rifle. I'd imagine he's picking off people over here. called the wrong person. I'm saying gotcha. Okay. Because I'm like, Did I just Mandela affect myself there in reverse or something? Oh, God. Pierce. See, I just did too. Pierce stole a PKP. Which is smart in this circumstance, because that is a green 4 weapon, so we might be able to confuse weapon ID for a second. Here, I got it. Can Pierce channel his inner Audrey Hotto and fight through this garrison to get to the cache and win the match? Let's see how well he does. It's not a caster curse. He's still alive. Okay? He's fine. He's fine. Nothing bad is going to happen to him. He's fine. It's just 1v4. Dies immediately. Yeah, that's why it normally is a curse. But see, he's still alive. He's fine. Nothing bad is going to happen to him. I'm not hexing anybody, alright? There's no voodoo. I assure you. So I have to say, is that a frag and it's going to go into somebody? That would be hilarious. Alright, come on, Pierce. You're going to have to be a little bit aggressive. Hornet's Nest being stirred by your battle buddy. Now you just got to push. Just don't get blue on blued. Alright? That's the important part in a scenario like this. Don't get shot by your friends. That would have actually been amazing if he got it further. Pierce pushing. Most of Green Force pulling out of this area. That double take from Seven. That freaking double take from Seven. And the fact that Pierce didn't immediately check his angle on Seven. Of course he wakes back up. Of course he wakes back up. Alright, delayed caster curse. I'll take it. Purton's still only on 4. So this is the hotel crew. Ah, they crashed their helicopter because he's at -1. Alright, we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're mag dumping the building now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 10 to 15. Really, it's going to be like 3 to 7, or no, God, 3 to 11 over here. Wait, how'd you shoot when the weapon was on your back? You fucking... Really? Really? Did you see what he did? He literally put his head into the barrel of Purton's gun. Why would you do that? Why would Tundian do that? What? What the fuck? Literally stuck his head while he was firing. Some of these people have no sense of awareness. My God. And then Deadpool gets Pupper. I've already said it. I'll say it again. It's GG. Green 4 wins. We still have a good chunk of time in this scenario, but it's... There's no other way Green 4 can really get a person up here. Blue 4. Green 4 have it too well locked down. That's it. I'm not going to pay it out yet because you never know, but... Oh, and apparently Vagrant was drunk, which is why he got immediately eliminated out there. Yeah, they're just spraying the shit out of these buildings. Where's the mercy rule? Where's the mercy rule at this point? Blue 4 just need to bypass that, pull south, and then go around. Looks like one BTR-80 Alpha was picked off. They just need to get away from the other one. Guess it's just a good day to run it. Yeah, because Blue 4 had that happen twice. They had that happen with that firefight right there, and then they had it with your opening 50 cal on a full squad of Green 4. What a wild day to be Blue 4. Goddamn. First round it was fine. This round, not so much. All right. Your explosive specialist already ran up and got killed. Who wants to be a hero? Is this being solo crewed? Steve is solo crewing this. But Blue 4 have no AT to deal with it. Maybe Cheeseburger runs out and finds the explosive specialist body, takes some of the boom boom, and then runs over to Steve. That's the only play I can think of right here, unless Cheeseburger found some explosive. And then after that, maybe there's a chance right here for some great spray down by Lowell with the PP2000, knocks Tom's out, but then maybe this infantry can go in and do something. You just mag dump the gun sight as well. That would freak him out enough. I had a cheeseburger for lunch. It was pretty good. Finally, that building goes up, but Blue 4 pulled away. You know, I remember the bug with RHS vehicles where you could, like, climb under a vehicle. You could then poke through and shoot the people inside the vehicle and then steal the vehicle through that. That was fun. They made it so you couldn't crawl under the vehicles anymore to patch it. That was funny. You did that to an Abrams? How recently? Because I'm curious if you can still do it to some vehicles. Last year, yeah, so I think it's been patched. Took them a while, but they eventually got there, you know. Now you've got some Green 4 running out. Deadpool stolen a 249. I'm going to be honest, 249 is probably the best CQC weapon for all of FNF. The only exception would be an MG3 or an MG42 if you're not running around with it. If you're in a defensive position, that thing will always beat out anything else. You could walk into it and crouch and kill everyone inside. Yeah, by crawling under, right? Or is this a different angle? Yeah, but usually those are bolted from the inside, the hatches. You can literally walk into the back of the turret. Wow. I see, because then you're put in its hitbox, and then you can fire at the crew inside. I get you. That's funny. And it pushes you inside of the Abrams. That's pretty based. So I think there's some green on these guys over here. Game ends in 15 minutes. Some Blue 4 running up there getting taken out. Waldo trying to circle around. The last bit of Blue 4 is engaging. You got the 80 Alpha next door. Did that Green 4 guy just try to run up and throw an explosive? Cheeseburger killed him. Cheeseburger could loot that body, get some AT, and then kill the BTR. This could be Cheeseburger's redemption. Wait, no, we got Waldo coming in. Can Waldo channel his inner Audrey Hotto and eliminate the 6 Green 4 defenders before eliminating the cache? Let's find out. The answer is no. Anyway. Blue 4 down to 4. Cheeseburger spotted by Steve and engaged, but Cheeseburger runs back. Hey, we had an opportunity in the Pass Soon event to potentially see Adriano beat the record, but after his first initial engagements in the tank, he just never got into another position to really kill anybody. But in the first, like, 30 minutes, he had, like, 13 kills. Emil running around. He's on 3 kills. Maybe he found something to do with the BTR. I don't think Bobby, of all people, would break the damn record, but that'd be pretty funny if he did. And Samil learns how to ballerina skip, thanks to the help of Korvac. I think you got him, buddy. And you're about to get got. GLs would actually do some moderate damage to the 80 Alpha. But that little duckbill in the front is pretty armored. Plus, it would have to be HE-DP ammo, and I think Blue 4 only has HE. Oh, here comes Deadpool. AT just came out, unfortunately went on to Blue 4, and Blue 4 down to 2. I don't know, like the past 3 weeks, we saw 2 instances in OFCRA where people were just outright slaughtering their teammates. It was the weirdest thing. It was, I think, 1 4 weeks ago and then 1 2 weeks ago. But the 1 4 weeks ago was the worst one. Come on, Deadpool, look down. Helicopter him. Just jump down and spray him. You'll probably die, but it'll be so funny. Yeah, and then the radar guided frickin' Hellfires for, oh my god, for Pog. Come on, Deadpool, get them both! Get them both! You got neither! And then you get headshot! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was... Oh, my God. Ooh. I was trying to cheer him on. Cheeseburger took that personally and just erased Deadpool from existence. It was definitely Cheeseburger that got the kill, too, because Max is on none. Oh, my God. Ooh. Yeah, clearly Cheeseburger was not a fan of the latest Deadpool Wolverine movie for that one, but damn. Yeah, it's going to be a Green 4 win. Maybe if I tell people to fail, they'll survive. Okay. But I like to cheer people on. Yeah, Green 4 running more people out. Here comes Korvac. He's got a marksman rifle and 6 kills. It's kind of like telling actors to break a leg. All right. Korvac, you suck. Break a leg, buddy. Break a leg. That is a dead body. What are you doing? No, Korvac, put that down. No, you can't take his femur, Korvac. Korvac, no. Bad. Bad Korvac. Caster curse the rest of Green 4. I don't know how to do this. Proceeds to break his... Can you imagine being a medic, but your job is to make sure people respawn instead? So you literally go up to a wounded guy, grab his head, and just... Are you the medic? No, I'm the respawner. You want to see why they call me? What is it, 173? Oh my god. Just call me the cryopractor. If someone had that job, or if I had that job, I would hope that they go into the mirror and practice lines that they make as they break people's necks. No, I'm the Undertaker. A necromancer is just a cleric who heals a little late. Ah, I'm out of water. I'm gonna go refill that. Friendly fire with no consequences. Medics with the highest KD, but it's friendlies. I'm going to go get more water now, because this is just going to be drawn out till the final thing, because Blue 4 is doing this massive flank round. Not that I'm knocking them for it, because they have no choice, because they don't have anything to do with that B tier 80 alpha. You know, there could be a clutch. Am I okay? Who's okay? What happened? Green 4 had a schizo moment. Random AT shot in an unoccupied building. Gotcha. How did a peasant from 1312 get here? You know what? That's a better question. He got kicked off because he didn't have the right keys. Hey, you never know. All right, Cheeseburger gets that kill. He's on 4. He's got 5 minutes to get to the cache. And he's fighting, what, 5 people? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 5. 5v1. Is Cheeseburger going to carry? What the fuck was that? Okay, alright. Come on, Cheeseburger. I had a cheeseburger for lunch. Therefore, you should have good odds. That's how it works, right? Oh, there's a +1 in there now, so it's actually 1v6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. Yeah, it tills the soil. Quite effectively. way. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, so he's going to keep running around. I think he's going to run over, get behind these buildings, come around, and then all he has to worry about is oddball. And then it's a matter of how quickly can Cheeseburger destroy the cache. That was an yeah, that was an explosive satchel placed down as like a surprise bomb. Yep, so you see him moving around. He's going to get behind those buildings, and he's going to make a break for it. And it's a matter of can he kill... What the hell is VODS doing? He tried to run the wall, and he got stuck. Now the game doesn't know where to put... Oddball came down to check on him. Ironically, this gives Cheeseburger an angle. Is he bandaging or morphine? He's morphining. He's going to go for it. Now it's an epi. He's going to blitz it. There's the epi. Two and a half minutes. Can he make it? Looting some ammo. Might find some GLs as well, because that was a Grenadier. That was the Chucklehead that ran into Purton's gun. Oddball. Surprised he didn't get hit on that. Grenade gets thrown. And Cheeseburger takes some damage from it. Other grenade goes in. Watts gets an eye on him. And that... Okay, no, I thought that got somebody, but no, their symbols were just in the way. Cheeseburger checking his gear. Popping in a fresh mag. Misses Oddball because of the tree. Gets Oddball there. Double taps Oddball. Switches guns. Hopefully he reloads. Cheeseburger taking marksman fire from Korvac. He runs back. Lennox going to get the kill. There it is. And the grenade is going to double tap, and that's GG. And round 2 goes to Green 4. It's okay, Lennox. You got him. Okay, he's dead. All right. We have one more round after this. GG. Oh, little friendly fire at the end, too. Ha! All right. Oh, let's get our commands changed out, see how things go. And Charlotte just asked about DayZ, so yeah, we'll be handling that after FNF. Wait for the black screen to push through, make some changes to commands, and then I'll, you know, we'll talk about some business stuff. How about that? And whatever you guys throw at me for our intermission. If it'll load. Oh boy, the map that might crash. Sure, why not? F it. I feel risky today. Alright, District 41 mission. This is round 3, after which we'll play DayZ. Okay. It is going to be... First off, let's pay out the prediction. Defender win. Cool. Op4 is attacking. Op4 is attacking a blue 4 terminal and cache. Op4 has a 6% numbers advantage. A BRDM. A Gaz VOD with. A KVPT. 2 BTR ADAs. And transport, while Blue 4 has an M1117, 2 M2 M113s, 2 M2 Humvees, and transport. Let's switch up the music as well.
What is that?
Hold on. Why did it...
No.
Okay, there we
No matter how hard you
go. No, not that button. This button. There we go. Yeah, we'll see if that 14.5 is any good. All right, so business talk. Yeah, exactly. I want to talk about subs. So here's the thing about Twitch subs. Again, I appreciate all the support I get because without any support, I wouldn't be able to do what I love. So you guys are the reason I am able to, you know, go forward with everything. That being said, yeah, also, we'll talk about that in a second. I think I know what it is, but I'll wait for a second. That being said, Twitch has started rolling out a bunch of stuff that I don't really agree with in terms of the Twitch subs. So some of the subs for the basic subs, instead of $4.99, are going up to $5.99. However, streamers don't make that $5.99. When it was $4.99, we made $2.49 or $2.48. If it was a sub, it was $2.49. If it was a Twitch Prime sub, it was $2.48. Now, some sub costs are going up to $5.99, but we're not making $3 now. We're still making those ratios. And from a lot of countries, we're actually making less. And Twitch is saying it's because of the cost to stream to all of those countries, but if you go look at Kick is able to do everything Twitch does, and they pay out, I think, like 90% to the sub. So here's the issue. Because of that, I'm really debating not doing gift subs on the Plinko board anymore. I would rather, and this is where I want to make it sweeter for you guys, instead of paying $4.99 or $5.99 for a sub, because the subs also go for the Plinko drops, I think I'm just going to drop the price of Plinko to $4 or 400 bits. Because I would be making more money off of that, rather than you paying $4.99 or $5.99 and I'm only making half of that money. You know what I mean? So we make it cheaper, but you guys, but I get more of that percentage, you know? Twitch is a business. They want to make money. They will yeah, exactly. But I'm going to be honest. Twitch, the reason why it's so expensive, at least from the research I've done, is, I mean, it's the same reason that fast food's kind of expensive. They've given a lot of lucrative contracts to these big names that bring in a lot of people, but they don't really make up for a big amount of... No, that's a lie. They do make up for a big amount of it, but it's not all of it. I'd be curious to see, though, like, the amount of people that watch specific accounts compared to the amount of people that watch Twitch overall. But I think Twitch kind of locked themselves into those contracts, and now they have to kind of pay for them. I mean, that's also why... What was it? I think it was Mixer? What was the Microsoft version of Twitch that only lasted, like, 6 months that paid millions of dollars to those people to jump ship? And then they just pulled the plug instead, and they all just came back to Twitch? Yeah, Mixer. Kick isn't making that same mistake, though. They're a little smarter with their contracting, but they're also, like, tied to gambling, which, again, I think it would be really cool to, like, run a betting system through this and have some money tied to it. And I, you know, keep, like, 5%, but that's just me. But yeah, that's my thought process, because I've only had one subscription that I've actively paid for, and that was to my buddy War Games Inc. I finally canceled it because A, he hasn't streamed in a hot second, but I always wanted to support him because he got me, you know, work with Jester814, which back in the day to me was a big deal. But I recently saw that Twitch was gonna bill me $5.99 instead of $4, and then I just, you know, went down the rabbit hole of, okay, like what the fuck is going on? So that's my thought process. I might roll out that change tonight because I know a lot of people drop a lot of money on gift subs, and I appreciate it, but it's because they want to see Plinko, and I would rather make it cheaper for them to play Plinko in big amounts, and I keep the money, you know? Like, I'd rather have that. Twitch already, I think it's... What is the standard rate? Like, if you want to get 100 bits, you have to pay, like, $1.40? Like, that... that already is a 40% fee to Twitch. It's less, though, proportionally, because of 140%. It's just me taking a rough percentage based off of 140 cents. But still, that's a big ratio. Buy more... Yeah, put it on sites instead and pay for paying. Good God. I'm going to adjust the spawn rate of AA, though, because that was definitely... Oh. But here, let me go look, because I think Ghost Wolf dropped the news. And I'll speak on that again. Yeah, so TLDR with Ghost Wolf, he's the guy that runs the Namalsk server. But he was getting really frustrated with the expansion DayZ updates because they were fucking up his server. And Ghost Wolf only has so much time in the day to work on this stuff because he's South African. And they have the load shedding issue. So he's going to be taking a few weeks off of running that. And Razor server is going to be the only one up again. So he's gonna... Ghost Wolf is potentially gonna come back when that new DayZ CDLC comes out, which is Frost. What was it? Frostline or something? Which, yeah, Frostline. That's on October 15th, if I recall, though. So that's gonna only be, like, in 2.5 weeks. And then maybe he'll remake it. But otherwise, he's not going to be working till he gets a new map ready for the new year. So I gotta scrub all of his information, but I get it. And again, I told Ghost Wolf, you know, there's two things I look forward to every week, at least the past few weeks, and that has been Stillwater Security and Namalsk. And no offense to Razor if he's here, I love Razor server Pripyat, but we've been on that server for months. You know what I mean? Especially with the 24-hour stream, and we spent 12 hours literally going to all the really fun places in Chernobyl. And even then, recently we went to the that one spot, and then Charlotte came up with a creative way to kill me, which I was also kind of fresh. But Ghost Wolf, you know, he was actively he built an entire custom menu, and then he started tweaking. You know, the T-Rex being giant, for example, that freaked the shit out of me. But then again, I mean, Ghost Wolf, not Ghost Wolf, I'm getting them confused. Razor, I don't know if he did it, but the Death Claws are now freaking fast as fuck. That also freaked the shit out of me, which is why, you know, the previous DayZ stream on Chernobyl was also quite interesting. But, you know, It's back on the... I remember with Frost back in the day, we would usually have like a 2 to 3 month rotation on DayZ servers before we changed the map out, because by then things would get really, really boring. Now, I will admit, a lot of the reason I haven't been able to make a lot of progress in DayZ, which has helped to keep it really fresh, is you guys murdering the shit out of me, which I find to be quite funny. But even so, especially with that 12-hour stream, we were able to do a lot of exploring, you know? So I'm still finding new things in that Pripyat server. It's just I was also really looking forward to expanding on the Namalsk server as well. So, you know, that's a shame. But, you know, with Frostline coming in, we might see some new stuff and whatnot. But bottom line, hope Ghostwolf is okay. I hope he takes these weeks off. I really also hope that, you know, he comes back quickly and makes something, because the man, he's like Razor. Both of them are really, really great at this. But as someone that did work with Frost on DayZ servers a few years ago, yeah, it's a gigantic fucking pain in the ass. I'm not going to beat around the bush there. It is a gigantic fucking pain in the ass. Yeah, and that's fair, Razor, because again, life gets in the way. What I'm hoping we get, though, is... I don't mind playing DayZ once a week, especially since the reason we really stepped up on DayZ, and we also stepped up on a new pay-for-campaign, was because of my IRL circumstances. I had to raise about $40,000 for my half of a wedding, because right now Bloodway and I are in the process of touring venues, and we have to put, you know, like a 25% down payment. This is for 200 people, so, you know, that venue cost with everything and the packaging and the food and all this other shit is going to be anywhere from like 30 to 50K. So I needed a lot of that money to put deposits down, and now we're in the process of, you know, in 2 weeks we will definitely be signing contracts at this point. That's 40 to 50,000 reasons for me to stay single. Yeah, right. I don't envy you there. Oh, this is a redo to a previous mission that crashed a while ago, so we'll see if it lasts again, but I'll go over it. But, you know, now that that's taken care of, I don't really have to push for a lot of, you know, streaming right now, which is why I'm open to Pog just, you know, giving up on the pay-for-campaign, and we just declare the viewers as the victor there, and then we just take a break from pay-for-pain for, like, you know, 6 to 9 months. And then DayZ, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I do love the Namalsk server, and part of me did want to tell, like, Ghostwolf, hey, you know, I really want to keep this going. But at the same time, his mental health is very important to me. It's important to anyone that works with me. And there's not really a reason for me to push anything financially anymore. Unless it's something like what I mentioned earlier with the, you know, the gift sub stuff and the Plinko board, where, you know, you guys are going to be paying more and it's not supporting me proportionally. And Twitch is just being a money-hungry piece of shit. But, you know, that's just me. If Ian was here, I'd tell it to his face, too. Ian, your corporation's trying to steal all the money again. Here, let me put the prediction up. This is going to potentially be a long round, too, guys, so we're just going to chill for a bit. But I'll explain how this round works, and then we'll get right into it. Also, I'm going to set this one for 20 minutes because it's going to take a while. But yeah, it'll take me like 15 minutes to transition things to DayZ, and then we can start immediately. Yeah, not X-Wing Ian, the Twitch Ian. The Inian. Because his name is the 2 N's. Oh my god, but yeah, there was a massive ban wave a few days ago because of quote-unquote fraud with the September bit system. Because every September, Twitch treats it as a promotional thing where they'll give, you know, some matching with the bits, and they'll also give extra subs. And apparently, their automatic system thought a lot of the stuff that was going on was fraudulent. Which is why a few people DM'd me about it and were like, bro, be careful, because, you know, the DayZ streams, people will drop a lot of bits to kill me. And then, you know, Twitch will give a bunch of bits too, and it's like, oh, we got to make sure we don't appear as fraudulent and get banned. Because even some bigger names got permanent bans too, and that's what drew a lot of attention to it. And then Twitch came in and said, oh, we're sorry, this was an accident, blah, blah, blah. But I've been following a few of the smaller channels that got banned that, you know, they didn't look like they were doing anything malicious. They were just trying to start out small, and they still haven't been unbanned yet. So it's like, teh, cool. All right, let me explain how this scenario is going to work. So Op4 starting down here with a massive convoy. They have a a terminal objective up here to hack. Blue Force spawns down here with some vehicles that can do some interceptions. And then they also have a destroy objective up here. Op4 can only transport infantry up here to make this a nice little CQC, small scale fight before Op4's main convoy comes in. Last time we ran this, we saw Pierce with a 1117 try to, you know, fly it into the water, and it sank like a stone. And then the mission crashed as Blue 4 and Op 4 started fighting each other back there. So let's go ahead and go over the scenario here. So Charlotte is going to be commanding Blue 4. Korvac's going to be our 2IC. Zixme being in Alpha 2 on his own. Bravo being led by Ash with Kazag and Chris under him. Bravo 1 is Major Contact, Barry Banks and Swola. Bravo 2 has Cheeseburger, Wombat, and McBain. Charlie has Oddball leading with Lennox as the marksman. Dewittson as the medic. Charlie 1 has Lurch, Watts, Hampton, and Harrington under him. Charlie 2 has Colonel Arcane with Consneg. I always butcher his name because I'm always worried to say the middle part of his name because I don't want to get Twitch banned on that one either. Vagrant Depso as well. Echo has Bates leading with France as the AT gunner and Gates and Norse under him, so that's going to be 6 shots for that Moz. Golf is going to be Alexander, Lolo, and Sam taking that 1117. Sam, I think one of his favorite vehicles is that 1117, so we'll see what he does with it. Puma going to be leading for Op 4. Smeal leading Alpha with Lewis and Simmons under him. Alpha 1 has Doggo, Arkin, Horno, Fren, and Pi under him. Nemesis leading Bravo with Dream and Flying Finn. Bravo 1 has Daedalus, Nekomata, T-Wayne, and Malin. Bravo 2 has George, Peasants, Waldo, and Theon. Charlie has Pingus with Danziger with Utek and Aquasio. Skipu leading Delta with Maxic and Deadpool being the machine gunners, and then Helenares and Batty being the machine gunners for Delta 2. That would be a PKP, I believe. I didn't even read weapons, though. We'll check that in a second. Yanni being the lead for Echo with Iander taking the RPG-32. That is his preferred AT system, with Puritan and Coles being the assistants, so that's going to be 6 rockets total, excuse me. Bursty and Fonz being in the BTR-80 crew, and Pearson Goose being the other BTR-80 Alpha crew. Otherwise, objectives, again, Blue 4 have to defend both cache and a terminal. Op 4 have to destroy it, though it's still bugged out in the parameters. Mission details here is 1,050 meters of render distance, 125 fortified points for the defenders to build stuff up. Fortified color for those sandbags and Heskos is going to be green, and it's a standard 50-minute round. Mission rules, platoons, Alpha or Bravo or Charlie or Delta, has to use the secondary spawn, the one you don't spawn in. The above goes for both sides. So basically they want 2 groups of infantry to spawn in these areas in the beginning, because I think Op 4 last time didn't put stuff in there. But otherwise, that is the custom rule. So an infantry fight and a vehicle fight. Nothing on the custom parameters here. Blue 4's loadouts, U.S. Navy Special Forces. So we got Mark 18s, basically 5.56 platforms. Mark 211s for the marksman rifle. M249 for the light machine gunners, AT4s for the light anti-tank, Maz gunner for the Echo team, and then MP7s for the vehicle crew. They have 3 transport trucks, 2 up-armored 50 cal Humvees, 2 early M113s that are amphibious and can cross the water, and then the 1117, which is not amphibious. Can it float? False. Otherwise, Op 4 are going to be Russian Spetsnaz, so AK-74s. We've got GP25s, though. Okay, it's listed down there. That's kind of weird. SVDs for the marksman rifle, RPK for the light machine gunners, RPG-7s with 2 rounds for the light anti-tank, PKPs for the medium machine gunners, RPG-32 for the Echo medium anti-tank team, and then PP-2000 for the vehicle crews. Otherwise, I have a Gaz Tiger for the command vehicle, 2 BTR-80 Alphas that are amphibious with 150 rounds of AP, 4 Gaz Vodniks that are amphibious, 1 with a KVPT that is also amphibious, pretty much the BTR turret, and then a BRDM with that, same turret as well, and that amphibious capability. Otherwise, that is pretty much it. We'll see a infantry firefight here. It forces Op 4 to be in a divide, though, so if Blue 4 just, well, no, Blue 4 is also stuck in a divide, so Blue 4 only has to win 1 firefight, though, for defense, unless they just take everything out of the terminal site and convoy it back around. Op 4 have to win both, so right off the bat, Blue 4 is kind of in a better position, but we'll see how things go. Alright, looking back into everything. But yeah, I'll make some adjustments on the menu during the break. Have a quick thing of coffee. Because after we stream for 3 to 4 hours, I'm going to then, have to do some tweaks for the mission file. Then I might do some mission dev streaming to show off where I want to take the, whatchamacallit, the next training rotation. Because there's a few maps and I'm thinking of a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, subs also get ads, but I'm going to work on a way to nullify ads off of Twitch. Because I think through a plugin, there's a way for us to do it. I just have to do the research. But I think that would also be something, if we're going to wean off of Twitch subs and instead focus on bits and direct donations for Plinko, the best I can do then is also find a way to get rid of ads. Because I fucking hate ads. But anyway, Ruben Tron, thanks for the 13-month resub. You just got your power back? Nice, man. Are you in the middle of the hurricane down in Florida? That Category 4? Cool. Hope you're okay, man. Nonetheless, hope you keep enjoying the operations. I hope we get a nice kick out of this scenario. Alright. But yeah, I'm thinking what I need to do in the next few weeks after I start, when I have a few less ops to deal with. Because right now we have the big hurdle, the 12-hour op on Saturday. And then for the next 2 weeks, a lot of my mornings for the weekends and Fridays are being taken to go venue snooping. After all that's taken care of and, we're starting on the new training rotation and I start really hammering down all the Halloween horror ops and I have a bit of time, I think we're going to focus on administrative stuff. So I'm going to clean up the Discord a little bit. I'm going to try to set up maybe a non-Armor DayZ related game to play once or twice a week. Maybe get back into a bit of Dark Tide with the new update. But, I've got plans for some other, games to kind of monetize in a similar way to DayZ. But, we can do it more casually. While you're in the mountains looking for whitetail? Why was my first reaction to make a furry porn joke? Well, happy hunting. But, yeah, I want to basically spend the rest of October just kind of doing some maintenance for everything. And then going for everything else. Because I'm a degenerate? You're goddamn right. You are goddamn right. Oh. The shit I've seen. Anyway. Razor, so, when this stream ends, I'm going to take about a 15-minute break. I'm going to have Charlotte admin for the DayZ server, and then if you want to fill in or just take the night off or come in and just watch what the hell Charlotte does to me, feel free. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that because I don't think I had a chance to text you on that. Works either way. Yeah, I mean, last game trip I did, we went fishing in the Outer Banks in the Sound. And we hit the red drum quota within 20 minutes between Bloodwing, myself, and my father. And I cooked one up yesterday, and it was freaking delicious. I made a crab bisque, which came out really, really well. That's still in our fridge. I think I have a bowl of that every other day because I made, 2 gallons of it. Because I just made a stock off of the blue crab. And then, yeah, we just got 4 red drums. But, I mean, for those of you that have been fishing and have put multiple poles out, let me try to describe this. Our first one we caught literally in, 5 minutes. And then after that, we had 5 poles in the water, 3 of them on one side, all got a fish on the hook within about 30, not even, 20 seconds of each other. What bait were we using? Literally just it was some fish we caught earlier. We spent, 45 minutes just bottom fishing in the Sound, caught some fish with some shrimp, and then immediately went out. The captain just took one of the fish and cut it up into pieces, and then we just put that on the hook. Put it out. And I think in total, we reeled in about, it was either 11 or 12 red drum. After hitting 3 spots. And it was also crazy. What was it? The captain, every time, his name was Mike, every time he would cast the line out, especially on the third spot, he would cast it out, and immediately the thing would bite. And he did that 4 or 5 times on the row, and it was even funnier, because he couldn't get the damn thing on the hook until the 4th time. But, like, it was to the point, like, my father was even amazed, because he was, you know, growing up in Alabama and Georgia. And he would fish for red drum, but they were super small. It was, yeah, it was a guided trip. So I'll tell you the exact charter. It was, if you look up Corolla, North Carolina, there is a single charter that fishes the Sound. It was that charter. It was, without tip, I think $5.50 for 4 hours. But that was one of the few times where it was worth it. I think the only 2 trips I would say was like a guaranteed worth it was that one, and then one I did down in Atlantis. That one we pulled in. It wasn't a private one though. We were with a few other people. We pulled in like 12 mahi-mahi and a wahoo in 5 hours. But that other one, we rolled in 11 red drums, multiple crab, multiple small fish. Atlantis, no, the resort. That was when I was much younger and my parents were, well, before they started fighting. But anyway. But yeah, I've done fishing a lot and I really want to get into it locally. I just need the time. But new Dark Tide update is amazing. Highly recommend playing. Yeah, I want to get back into it. I'm going to be honest. I am a little bit salty with how they nerfed melees for the Preacher. Where now I can't just swing the damn thing 3 or 4 times and immediately ping chorus again. It was busted as hell, but I really just wanted nights where I could turn my damn brain off and just be support. But now it's per swing, so I have to use a frickin' knife or a frickin' axe again, but still. Fiano Sports Fishing does trips out of VA Beach. He's legit. Streams too? Nice. I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't mind making a 4th channel that just focuses on gardening, homebrewing, and fishing. That might be something I hit when I'm 30 in a few years. Oh god, speaking of homebrewing though, I got lucky. Alright, I gotta be careful how I word this, because this might be illegal. Ooh. Okay, all of this is for my personal consumption. With that out of the way, Costco had a sale on some mango stuff. And it was like $3.99 for like a gallon of it, and I need to make about 2 gallons. So that, and I got a 5-pound thing of honey for... no, homebrewing's not illegal in my state. It's what you do with it. But anyway, 5 pounds of honey for $12.99. 2 1-gallon containers of mango nectar. Each was on sale for, I think, $2.99 or $3.99. And I'm going to make some really nice 1-gallon batches out of that. So I'm excited. But yeah, okay, so I may or may not have been talking about, 2 weeks ago I made it, how do I word it? May or may not have been talking about homebrew and that how I made way too much and I needed to quote-unquote give some away. And then someone on stream is like, oh, bet, where do you live? And it turned out they lived only like an hour from me, so they may have come over and we may have done like this massive like 6-course tasting of everything, and then they may or may not have taken some stuff out of my hands. So I've recently learned that that is technically illegal. You can't brew homebrew for other people to take. So I made an oopsie there, which is why I need to stop talking about it, but I'm just, you know, laying down the course of events. Totally not going to do that again. Haha, smile. But yeah, that's what happened. I know what's that. Towing the line. But so the reason why I got so heavy into this stuff. Okay, round's about to begin. Hold on. So Op 4 starting with 2 squads there. Blue 4 starting with 2 squads up here. And then we'll have the vehicle charging. But the reason I got so much into homebrew was, I think what really pushed me forward is one of my cousins wants to open a meadery down in Georgia. So I've been running a bunch of experiments with, oh my gosh, elderflowers and elderberry. Yeah, delete the VOD, I know, right? Get rid of the evidence. So that's just kind of spearheaded a lot of my own research with everything. Understands why Liru doesn't show his face, and when I do, I have the balaclava on, right? But it took me 3 years, but now I make some pretty good stuff. Like, Bloodwing used to hate trying it, and now she's my fiance. I'm allowed to share it with her. Now she likes it. And I think the real lesson in that was learning how to properly back sweeten, which means you sweeten after the fact, or how to basically blend something to create, you know, alcohol, but then you just, you know, flavor it properly after the fact, because if you have certain flavors go through the entire fermentation process, it ends up being very bitter. And that's just a big learning curve with everything. Yeah, exactly. There's all the licenses with it, and that's why I did a lot of research with it, but oh, it's a pain in the ass. But hey, I'm gonna be honest, if there was a narc in this channel, I would have gone down. I would have had a wellness check on me already. Which is so funny. Because I remember when we had I turned one of my Martha tents into a mushroom tent. And I had the few people that knew what I do, you know, for streaming that knew me IRL. 2 of them asked me, hey, are you doing, like, illegal mushrooms? I'm like, no. The fuck? But they thought that's what I meant by it. And I'm like, no, you fucking, you dinguses. No, I made a bunch of flushes of golden oyster. And then I took the golden oyster, I would press it in a pan, and I would turn it into these really nice steaks. And then you can flavor it heavily with some umami flavors like soy sauce and whatnot, and it came out really, really well. But then, you know, by the time I started doing my 3rd flush, I had some cold blue oysters, I had some trumpet mushrooms, I was going to get into lion's mane, but then everything started super rusting because it turns out the anti-rust stuff didn't really work out too well, and it kind of blew up. So I had to scrap that idea, and now that space has been taken over by other storage space because of my family moving, and I had to take on more stuff. Enjoy homemade wine with magic shrooms that we lose. No. That's not how it works. Alright, so Blue 4 pulled out of their destroy objective and are now trying to counterattack Op 4. And I'm going to be honest, normally we wouldn't see that shit, but this is round 3, and I think the player base is bored. And they're also doing that because, look, they're kind of pulling out of this AO. I want to see, though, if this vehicle makes the same mistake as last week. No, and they're on fire. Okay, I don't know what the hell they did, but I think they might have had an ARMA incident, and that's why they're slowed down. But yeah, we see some Op 4 bodies here. Others trying to run. They're getting taken out by some Blue 4 pushing in. So Blue 4 is basically going to sandwich the Op 4 group here and then go and turtle the objective as Op 4 has a reduced garrison. That's pretty much how this AO is going to go. But Op 4 is also going to try to blitz over the bridge to join their garrison over here. So it's a matter of whoever can rush to the other position first to reinforce is going to win, and I think that's going to be Blue 4 in this round. Which it sucks because we still have the betting going on. It still could go either way, but Blue 4 definitely have a bit of an advantage here. But hey, my end game is to open a bed and breakfast somewhere in the countryside, so we'll eventually get there with all the fun little permits and whatnot. Great GL by Oddball there. Knocks out George and Peasant. Not sure if they're going to be double tapped in time. They might wake up and be able to still pull away, but great placement. Some return GLs, but they just can't get over the berm. No, we're not arming the bread and breakfast. And 50 cals are firing from the rear, and that's going to cause more pressure on the Op 4 infantry right here. So I'm curious if these guys are going to turn around. And Iander has the medium anti-tank weapon, though. He could snipe some of the 113s, but there's not a lot of infantry on them. One of them has a +3, which means they got 2 additional infantry to dismount. So this is just running distraction as the actual dedicated vehicles come around on the northern side to reinforce. So we'll see if Op4 can potentially break the Blue 4 counterattack here and withstand. Georgian Peasant wake back up. AT fires out and knocks out Burton. Iander looks over and realizes it. Quite a bit of blood from that hit, though. Blue 4 continuing their aggressive push. Got to keep an eye on those 113s as well. We'll see where they go. But if they pull back, that's going to further pull some Op4 to go deal with them and spread them thin. Harrington runs out of ammo, but the Op4 guy that pushes him gets, taken out. Harrington could still be brought up with a medic, but okay, no, we still have one back there doing something. I think he's matching a few other people. Watts Thoughts looks like he's stopped to start immediately administering medical. I don't always agree with that, but at the same time, if you're only one person, yeah, just shut the door, start doing medical, and if you see that door open, be quick to adjust. Iander gets a hit and completely cooks the vehicle off. So they got some infantry turned out on the rear. Iander's going to give a reload. We'll see if they push up. Spooky, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for the 19-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, my friend. I never signed that paperwork with that one person. Oh, god damn it. I've had way too much to do. Nonetheless, hope you keep enjoying everything, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow. All right, a few dismounts back here. Iander's pushing up on this position. He's looking to hunt, but we might see the infantry coming around. Cheeseburger gets blown away by Yanni. Now you got Chris looking around. Yanni takes him out. Vehicle's now pushing up. My Nemesis getting low as the vehicle is now blitzing forward. Op4 only have 4 people alive, so that counterattack was mostly successful, but now you have the main branch of Op4 now coming up, so there's an entire squad wiped here, a partial team wiped here. Blue 4, meanwhile, yeah, Blue 4 definitely have the number advantage at the moment. They're still spread out, though, so Op4 could potentially defeat Blue 4 in detail here, but we might see a line push out. Righto, Vlad, righto. Yeah, 113s are literally just meant as giant transports, you know? But they basically use them as an amphibious assault piece. Now, here's the question. How many kills can these guys get before Op4 actually shows up with the main force? I love how they're trying to get on the beach to find an angle in that 113, but it's long gone. So they don't want to put themselves in an open area with the water. They want to potentially pull back. So GL's coming out by Zixme. We have Delta blowing through with a Gaz Vodnik. Okay. Is Op4 going to bypass all the infantry and go right for the objective? Because that would be actually... That would be a very risky but a very funny call. Zixme no longer has his AT. So he's trying to spray the Vodnik down. He's going to end up running the Nemesis. GL lands by him. AT fires, and it's a miss. Zixme finds Nemesis and takes him out. Puma trying to go around the flank. Can't find him. And Zixme gets knocked by Yanni as a grenade goes out, but it's not far enough. Only a knock, though. Could still wake back up. Because some of those bullets went into his arms because he spun. AT coming around down here. The Vodnik has been dismounted except for potentially the gunner. AT's trying to fire on it, though. And he gets hit with AT. Gun is disabled. He got a knockout up there, but it wasn't really enough. Zixme, I think, woke back up and was immediately double tapped again. AD Alpha is now coming into play. How is Wombat alive? Good question. Got some long-range fire from the 1117. Consig coming up. Starts taking out some of the people crawling around. Does a quick reload. Maxic might notice him, but he takes fire from the 1117, so he's forced to continue to pull away. Skipu on the road. Switches to his handgun. Gets a handgun kill. Grenade rolls in as a double tap, but he's already dead. Maxic spots and finally gets the kill with that PKP as he takes damage from that 1117 across the way. Arcane coming around, but Arcane catches Arcane out. And we have a flaming out BTR-80 Alpha on the left. I think long range AT was able to engage it, or it was autocannon fire from the LAV-25 that I don't see up here. Never mind. The combat wombat. Yeah, right? He's at -1, though, which means he's friendly fired. And he immediately makes those kills back. Porno knocked out, and we got one dead right here. So Wombat should be even now. Funny enough, the body's ragdolled, so now it's in a little bit of cover from Wombat. Gonna be honest, look at the amount of skulls on Op 4. Now look at Blue 4. Good amount of skulls, yes, but not enough. Blue 4 at least have a 2-to-1 number advantage at the moment. Maybe with the surviving BTR-80 Alpha and maybe with the surviving BRDM, they can, you know, get a little bit of additional kills here, but there's only a fire team down on the ground. Unless Blue 4 decides to kill their own forces. Whoever drew this on the trash can, man, I swear to God. Alright. And now we're just waiting and seeing. Yeah, they have radios, but, you know, they're probably not on the right frequencies for each other. Charlotte's already on privy. I think Charlotte's just excited to kill me with whatever the heck you give her. That scares me. The happy-go-lucky admin that's just can't wait to murder you. That's... Hey, and Wombat is now the dead bat. Bug straight from Klendathu. Can someone add... No, it's not going to happen because the people that added Starship Trooper to the Steam Workshop for Arma 3 got in trouble, so if you tried to do that for DayZ, you'd probably get banned too. Could you imagine playing DayZ and then freaking Starship Trooper bugs start coming out instead? Do you have any idea the terror that would happen with that? I would need a new pair of pants. No, what was that earthquake? Turns around, bug bursts out from the ground. Oh! Oh, no! What do you mean, nice? Maybe for you watching, for me, no. Yeah, graboids, too. Oh. No. This man's on 8 kills. I just realized that. He ran out of ammo, so he picked up a PKP. That's terrifying. And he might snipe an 80 Alpha with a stolen RPG. Because Op4 don't have the infantry to maintain their line. He might. It hit the pole. No, it penetrated and still hit him, but he gets knocked out for his hubris. He's dead. But it disabled the other 80 Alpha. And caused Goose to... The Goose is loose from life. He's a spirit now. Isn't that wonderful? Welp. Died a hero if nothing else. Okay, no, Goose is back. His soul got shoved right back into his body. Oh, here's the... No, that's the 1117. Oh, wait, was this the map where they gave the 1117 an autocannon because they didn't want to give it a GMG? Hold on. Yeah, they gave it a freaking 20mm instead of the GMG to balance it. That's where the autocannon was from. What type of madman takes a grenade launcher and goes, hey, you know what would be better? If we made this thing fire bigger. Well, technically, what's better, a 40mm grenade launcher or a 20mm autocannon? Caliber-wise, the 40mm grenade would be better. But the 20mm... Could you imagine if it was a 40mm autocannon? Yeah, more range with the 20, right? But... Could you imagine if it was a 40mm cannon? With AP and HE? Oh, now it's going to be a bit of a lull here because Blue 4 is just going to turtle the objective. Baits and gates. Baits and gates and baits and gates and baits and gates. They're coming down. Did Op4 even touch the terminal? So you're telling me you didn't even go and interact with the damn thing? So even if you won, you'd have to drive all the way back. So Blue 4 have already won. Christ. RPG goes up. I think that was trying to hit a vehicle. They were potentially trying to take out this Humvee back here. Yeah, GG. Not gonna lie, I just kind of want to see Baits and Gates. Baits and Gates specifically come down and kill everybody else. Op4, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 players left. Blue 4 on 2. There's like 3 people in there. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 or 21. So Op4 are outnumbered 2-1 here. There's still a few vehicles out here, but for Op4 to use, not really. So a GL go off back there. More rockets going out. That one I think hit the 113 and insta-cooked it. So good shot there. I just don't know how much more AT, what was that, Yanni had there? Yep. So we might have 1 or 2 more rockets left. Baits and Gates I think have been spotted. They're taking fire from 2 different angles. They get behind this Vodnik here. Smoke goes out. Here's some GLs going off as well. Op4 trying to assault with what remaining infantry they have at this point. Bates and Gates probably going to pull back. Final fight will now start kicking off right here. And you got machine gun fire now coming down on some of the Op4 trying to push up. More AT goes out. It manages to, I think, hit just short. Nope, we do have a damage texture on this Humvee. It does not cook off, though, so it might have hit the crew compartment instead. Gates gets knocked out. Bates is on the ground. Pierce and Goose still trying to run up on the right side. More smoke's coming out, but they're going to need more when they get closer to the objective. You got Arkin coming up, taking some shots on Bates. Bates trying to blind fire, not realizing he's exposed. Gates might be able to camp this bush and pick off people as they come by. Autocannon fire coming in from that 117 from the flank. 50 cal coming in, but just short. Arkson firing in Gates' position. Max gets knocked out, and there goes Arkson. Not realizing that he's being suppressed by a machine gun. More shots coming out. This is on Goose. Goose takes one hit and gets knocked out. AT just went out and flamed out the 117. And I think that was Yanni. Yanni has been making some beautiful snipes. That was a 670-meter shot, and he's been making like 500-esque meter shots on there. Ooh, it's going to give the Op4 survivors more room to push up here. Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to be enough, because it's going to be an uphill battle. This is going to go to the end. Yeah, timing-wise, we still have like 25 minutes left on this round. You still have this 50 cal up here. All right, Op4 down to, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it looks like the knockouts actually woke back up. Yeah, Max woke back up. And I don't know if it was Gonzalez back there that moved around. But now these guys are going to pretty much be out of play because they only have submachine guns and they do not have the range to engage on the other side, so they'll have to run around. Meanwhile, we do have Yanni, who's been making those beautiful AT shots. He is pushing up on his own. He's on 4 kills. Maybe he could get on some of these buildings and potentially start plinking off some of the people that are standing and exposing themselves. And you also have Ash on this flank here, trying to see if he can pick off anyone else. .50 cal's firing on Horno's position here. He got hit a few times. You can see the blood. But really, I think a majority of this is going to be up to Yanni to start sowing the seeds of discord here, and then maybe we can see Op4 make a unified push while that chaos is ensuing. Yeah, now you see the vehicle crew running around. That's going to take them at least 5 minutes to get around that side. Yanni climbing around. Might be able to start finding some angles to get some pickoffs here in a moment. Here, kill this person so we can go play DayZ. Players in this capacity, especially with the fact that we now have, in Friday Night Fights specifically, they increase the armor pass-through coefficient, so bullets do a lot more damage now. You don't have to mag dump anymore. You still kind of do if you're doing flanking shots, because, you know, the hitbox on the arms might kick in. Did Charlotte just see Yanni? Nope. Yanni looks like isn't going to cover that corner and try to go around instead. The issue is the closer Yanni comes around, the harder things might be. McBain now running down. Yanni might get spotted. Nope, goes around just in the nick of time. Whew. It is a destroy objective. So what if Yanni just came in and found the cache and mag dumped it? It's on the second floor, tucked away. In theory, Yanni could sneak in. And if Yanni still has an RPG, he doesn't though, he dropped it. What if Yanni sneaks in and blows up the cache? No one's on the actual cache room. Watts is the closest one. Uh-oh. Charlotte didn't notice Yanni! Yanni's booked it, I think, because Yanni thinks Charlotte saw him. The rest of the guys are getting sniped. And the jig is up. Oh, no. So now I got everyone turning attention here. That's not a lot of people actually pulling back from that. So these guys are staying pinned in the back line. You still have these infantry on the side that can come and flank because they've got those MP7s because they're part of the crew. And Yanni is just being very aggressive here. I don't want to caster curse him because it's not going to change the outcome of the game. Well, yeah, never mind. Because we still have that crew all the way down here, so we still have to wait for them to time out. Yeah, now Yanni, I think, is waiting to see if anyone starts running around down here. Korvac also just spotted. Korvac gets knocked. Yanni's immediately pulling away. But yeah, now we have Sam, Alexander, and Lolo coming from the northern flank. And those MP7s and CQC with those 40-round magazines, oh, that's going to suck. They are a bit wounded from being flamed out, but let's see if Sam spots Yanni. They're going a little far on the right side. They're trying to be thorough here. Charlotte comes out. Yanni looking around. Charlotte's also trying to look around here. Looking at Lolo. But Charlotte's now on Korvac. Checks the body. Charlotte looking in Yanni's direction. Korvac woke up and knocked himself out with a nade. It's funny. Charlotte's going to pick him up and move him. Again, it's the question of, is it relieving any of the pressure for these guys to push in? And the answer really is no. You've got Pierce trying to come around the left flank. But Yanni was really the only one that could sneak in here. wonder if Yanni's gonna try to pick off Major Khan right there. And then we do have a gunner in this vehicle. Is Yanni gonna go for that headshot? He's gonna go prone. He's gonna go for it. Can he make it? One shot. That's all Yanni's gonna get. It's on Watts. Nope. That freaks Watts out. Makes him pull out of the vehicle, though. But you still have other elements basically plinking at whatever's over here. Pierce might be able to come up and give some assistance, though. Now that 50 cal isn't locking him down. Vehicle crew is now checking the deep forest over here to see if there's anyone still around. Funny enough, they might now push a bit far, and they might actually catch Pierce coming up. Oh, Scandi members can be super slippery. When you let them solo, he might spot Swola here. Yanni looks away at the worst possible time. I think Swola just saw him. GG to Yanni. There's the headshot. Yep. Oh, man. Still another 18 minutes on the round. Op 4 down to 3 here. Gates potentially going to push back. Oh, yeah, Op 4 down to 4. Bloodwind some head pats here. Pierce moving up, might be able to get a kill or two. This is a bit of a steep ridge, though. Hopefully he doesn't slide down. Oh, okay, yeah. Did I fall down the stairs again? Is that it? Yeah. Pierce might go for a bypass and try to hit the objective, but I think people in blue 4 are already spooked, and they're going to be pulling security on the stairwell. Ah, the vehicle crew repaired the Humvee. And Pierce got spotted and killed by Charlotte. Gonzalez is the only one still alive. Okay. Can Gonzalez channel his in? We'll be back with Daisy in about 15 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one.